and enjoy this beautiful settlement, West Grand Bahama, and take care of our people, and you take care of yourself. I'm Ricardo Lightbourne. So long.
It's What's Trending with Jimanita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
It's Tuesday, December 2nd, and welcome to What's Trending, your daily dive into the people, moments, and must-know stories shaping the entertainment world. I'm Anthea Ferguson, keeping you in the loop and in the know. Let's jump right into what's coming up in today's show. A new mammogram initiative is coming. Here's how you can be part of the fight against breast cancer with the Public Hospitals Authority. Then we focus on a Bahamian artist who turns imagination into unforgettable masterpieces on canvas. And our trend tracker breaks down the biggest stories lighting up the headlines right now. Stay with us. It's all happening next on What's Trending.
Diet-friendly special.
Shining a light on a powerful new initiative aimed at saving lives and expanding awareness for women's health. The Gift of Hope, the Mammogram Movement, is a campaign recently launched by the Public Hospitals Authority. Joining us today is PHA Foundation Director Alana Major, here to walk us through what this campaign is all about, why it matters, and how every one of us can play a role in spreading hope and potentially saving lives. Welcome to What's Trending, Alana.
Thank you so much. It is a pure delight to be here today.
So good to have you.
Thank you.
Now, I see you decked out in your pink.
I had to wear my pink
But
today.
it's not October.
No, it's not. No, it's
and
not.
we usually liken, breast cancer awareness to October and the color pink. But we're in December, and the PHA said, you know what? We're going to talk about breast cancer throughout the year.
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit more about this new campaign, what it is, and why now.
So this campaign is an effort from the PHA Foundation, and the foundation is the dedicated philanthropy partner of the Public Hospitals Authority. So this is one of our key campaigns, and the focus with this one is to make sure that we can spread hope, not just in October by wearing pink, which is important for us to do, but all throughout the year. So the mammogram movement is a dedicated campaign so that we can raise $1 million. $1 million to fund 2 mammogram machines, one for Nassau and one for Freeport. We'll also be funding all of the maintenance agreements for 5 years for both of those machines. So that $1 million campaign takes care of the 2 machines plus the maintenance agreements.
So when did this campaign get started? How long does it run for?
So it just recently got started. We were looking at particular ways, the foundation that is looking for particular ways where we would have the most impact, and seeing that breast cancer is so prevalent in the country, and this is one of our main priorities, we thought, okay, let's start here with one of these campaigns. So we just got started recently a few months ago, and we will go as long as it takes until we secure these machines.
That $1 million.
Absolutely.
And you know, you talk about the prevalence of breast cancer here in the Bahamas, and you know, before we got started with the interview, we're talking about the ages now of women being diagnosed. We have women in their 20s, we have women in their 30s. You know, one time ago, it was thought that, you know, only older women would be diagnosed with breast cancer. But so talk to us a little bit about what the numbers or stats look like in the country currently.
So the stats are very, very concerning. We're seeing more and more women in their 30s, in their 20s, to the extent where most of the new cases that are developing are happening within women between the ages of 30 and 40. So it is very important to have early detection, and the only way you can do that is, of course, if you're getting your regular mammogram screenings, and that's why we want to make sure we're able to have this here, not just in Nassau, and I have to keep honing in on this, not just Nassau, but in Freeport as well. But the prevalence is very concerning, but there's always hope. So the earlier you're able to get screened, the earlier you're able to detect if you have breast cancer, and then that significantly increases your chances of being able to survive with the condition.
Are we screening enough? Are we screening early enough? Does that screen at 40 mantra, does that go away and we say, hey, screen at 20, screen at 25?
So the going thought or idea now is, definitely if you have it in your family, you should be looking to be considering to screen a little bit earlier. But you should be doing your regular self-breast examinations as well, so that if you're doing that from an early age, if you feel anything that seems a little bit out of place or uncertain, you can just go and talk to your doctor and get a screen just to be sure. So I wouldn't even put an age on it per se, but I do encourage women to do their self-exams. And if you feel something that's not what you think it should be, go ahead and get screened properly.
I've literally heard stories of women said, oh, I felt something, but I was afraid to go to the doctor. I was afraid to check it out, or I felt something and I just ignored it, thinking it would go away. And so we need to be doing our self-exams at home, as well as, like you said, getting our regular screening and checks.
Absolutely.
Now, $1 million. These machines are expensive.
They are expensive, but if you think about the fact of the amount of women who will be aided with this, and I have to say men too, because men can actually get breast cancer.
Very true.
But it's $1 million for 2 machines. So it's not as though it's $1 million for 1 machine, but it's $1 million for 2. And once it's there and it's set up in the hospitals, you literally will have thousands of women that will be able to have access to this type of care.
And
so
it's definitely
that's important.
needed.
Yes, it is needed.
So how far are you in getting that $1 million? I know you say you recently kicked off the campaign.
We recently kicked off.
Can you share how much you may have gotten so far?
Just getting started. We are just getting started. But the good thing is we are willing to get support from $10 to $1 million. So I'm sure someone is out there that can write the check for $1 million now. Please feel free.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
We are willing to accept that, but there are a number of ways that you can get involved. So if you're a corporation and you say, I want to actually sponsor an entire machine, we are willing to work along with you and accommodate that. Or if there are 4 companies that say, okay, each of us will give 100,000 or so, and we'll come together and sponsor a machine, you can do that. Also, the smaller amounts for the maintenance agreements are about 30,000 each. So you could say, I want to sponsor year 1, year 2, year 3 of that maintenance agreement, and then we will do all the rest after that.
Okay, and so who is the appeal to? I know you mentioned companies, corporations. So as little as $10 you'll take.
Everybody. The appeal, it stretches across the country because all of us are affected by this. Each one of us knows a sister, a mom, a cousin, auntie, a friend that is affected by it. Every single Bahamian household is affected, so everyone can pitch in. There's no amount that's too small or too big. But of course, those who have deeper pockets, then we're welcome to accommodate you with those deeper pockets, and we would appreciate as much support as you give.
So how can we give? Where do we go to give?
So the easiest way to get in contact with us is phafoundationbahamas.org. All of the details of the mammogram movement are there on the website. You can get all of the details to contact us, phone numbers, email addresses, ways to give, because you can give directly via bank wire, or we can get in touch with you. You can actually work through us to the vendor to purchase the machines itself, or you can even give on Givelify, but phafoundationbahamas.org.
And finally, how will the success of this initiative be measured?
I guess the best way is once it's installed and you can actually see how many women are able to use these machines, then you can get the long-term effect there. And then how many lives are saved and changed as a result. That's the key.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Alana.
Wonderful to be here.
Beautiful in your pink as always.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you look gorgeous in your Christmas colors. I love it.
Thank you so much for joining us and sharing how we can all take part and make a difference. Up next, we shift our attention to a painter whose strokes on the canvas are truly unforgettable. That and more when What's Trending continues. Thank you.
Your home is your sanctuary. The last thing you need to worry about is rodents. Once they enter your property, they can be tough to get out. If you're concerned about rodents, call Rent-A-Kill Initial. We offer the latest, most effective treatment for safe, fast, and long-lasting results. From prevention to elimination, our integrated approach guarantees protection. For rodent control you can trust, there's only one name in the Bahamas: Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
Today, we're spotlighting a true creative powerhouse, artist, poet, writer, and public speaker, Kelly Jolly. From canvas to stage, Kelly is transforming inspiration into unforgettable art. But who is she? Why does she create? And what fuels those brilliant strokes? We're about to find out in Culture and Color.
Culture and Color, presented by Dungaluk Studios Art Gallery.
Kelly Jolly, a multi-talented artist whose creativity knows no bounds. Vibrant colors, stunning landscapes, and bold expressions. That's just how Kelly's art comes to life. Welcome to What's Trending, Kelly.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So you are an artist who does all the things.
I don't know about all the things, but the things I love.
The things you love. Well, talk to us a little bit about the things you love and what made you fall in love with artistry?
Well, I believe that growing up as a Bahamian kid, thankfully it's something that's infused into our curriculum from pretty early on, but it's not something that I would say I considered in terms of showcasing to the world until probably a few years ago. You know, we went through the pandemic and everybody was searching for a way to express themselves creatively or to, you know, release emotions and to cope with the realities. And so I think that's when I really dove into art. And I made a piece for my mother a few years ago on Mother's Day, and I really realized, hey, you know, this is something. I framed it and finished it professionally. I said, this brings me joy.
Wow.
So I'm going to keep doing this.
Okay, and so why painting? Why did you fall into that one?
I believe, I always love vibrant colors. Painting, my father actually painted when he was able to, and he was a conch shell artist. And so I believe it's in my genes. When I was small, I would see my or his other children be more artistic, and I didn't think it was really in me. But when I, put my hands to the canvas and I realized, hey, I love the paint because to me, it allows my emotions to flow. And that's why I call myself a fluid artist. I work with the paint in flow form mostly, and it allows a kind of expression that bonds with the person who comes in front of the painting. I don't tell them what to think or feel, but the way that the paint displays itself, it speaks to them.
Yeah.
So that brings me joy.
And you talk about your father being one of your inspirations. Where else do you draw inspiration for your work?
I draw inspiration from my spirituality. I think anything that comes out of me artistically definitely comes from my source, my God, and also from my realities. I see the persons who set up the intro had my public speaking in there, the work that I do. All of it comes together in this art, and all of it is an expression of who I am, and at the same time, it flows into where I am in terms of being a Bahamian in the space that I grew up in, my family and everyone that I care about, advocacy. I believe all of this is rolled up into one for me.
So is that how you start the idea and then turn that into a finished piece, just your lived experience?
Partly. I also prepare, especially the kind of painting that I do. It takes a lot of preparation.
So talk us through that process.
Okay, and so I'll have an idea in mind. So recently I did a piece with a particular theme. This is the first time I did a themed piece.
Okay.
We had a gallery showing at 6260 Art Gallery downtown, owned by June Colley, and the theme was confluence. And so I looked it up, and how rivers converge, but it also has to do with culture and people. And then, so my piece was called Folklore.
Okay.
Trying to connect that with the Bahamian reality and all of that. And so what I had to do, I sketched out on my iPad, something that I thought would be interesting, but I also have to, in fluid art, you have to mix your paints. You have to set up the colors because everything has to work very quickly. You have to work very quickly on the canvas as you're going through. So everything needs to be prepared as much as possible. And then once everything is on the canvas, that's when the real play begins. That's what I keep telling myself. Like when I had to finish that piece for this show, if I didn't like something, I had to keep going back. I had to be like, just play, just have fun, and it will finish itself.
I like that. I think that should be a rule for life. Just play.
Yes.
Just have some fun, right? So for anyone wanting to experience your art, see your work, where can they find you?
They can find me at JollyKel, JOLLYKEL on Instagram. They can also find me at Lines, Color and Chill on Instagram. And I left a few of my business cards here. So the show, you'll have my info, my numbers also on there.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite piece you've created?
Well, the one that is displayed, the one that has mostly purple in it.
Okay.
I did that as a birthday piece for myself.
Okay.
On a significant birthday of mine.
Okay. One of those big numbers?
Yes.
Those good numbers.
Yes. And so that has a lot of meaning to me, but each piece, as it is finished and it comes to life, becomes very important to me. One of the first more up there in terms of expensive pieces that I've sold, that was significant to me for the person, seeing that value and purchasing that piece. So each one, for different reasons, has its peculiarities and its meaningfulness to me.
All right, so what's next for you? Any collaborations, any more art shows? The holidays are coming up. What do you have planned?
Well, I hope to be involved with more art shows. This past weekend with June Colley was my very first hanging in an art gallery.
Okay, congratulations.
Yes, so I've been a part of pop-ups and things like that, collaboration with musicians who wanted artists on scene, things like that, but I'm open. it's not just a hobby for me, but I see it's something definitely to share with the Bahamian public and the international public. So I'm just open and looking forward.
Well, Kelly, thank you so much for sharing your art with us and reminding us that art isn't just something we look at, it's something we feel, live, and experience. Well, from her canvases to her words, she inspires us to see the world brighter, bolder, and full of endless possibility. Up next, it's our Trend Tracker, where we explore what's raising eyebrows around the world. Stay with us. Thank you, Kelly.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Sweet and spicy, marinated right, tossed with chili. Garlic and ginger have many flavors, like honey barbecue.
Signature hot wings, turn up the heat for you. Those pepper wings, what's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
Nine, so many flavors to try. What's your flavor? Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
Those pepper wings.
Diet-friendly special.
From presidential pardons to a sports legend making a return, let's see who's trending in Trend Tracker. From Trump's mysterious MRI, and according to his doctors, he's in perfect health. President Donald Trump's doctors said in a memo released by the White House on Monday that his October medical imaging was of his cardiovascular and abdominal systems, and that both showed perfectly normal results. The memo says the advanced imaging was performed because men in his age group benefit from a thorough evaluation of cardiovascular and abdominal health. The president told reporters in October that he received an MRI at the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, a visit the White House billed as the president's routine yearly checkup. Trump underwent his annual physical, however, back in April and couldn't tell reporters what the MRI was on. But his doctors are now saying every single day the president is in optimal physical health. This was a follow-up appointment, and we provided a detailed readout of that physical. The White House announced this summer, though, that Trump was diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency, a condition in which valves inside certain veins don't work the way they should, which can allow blood to pool or collect in the veins. And from presidential fitness to a presidential pardon, President Trump also making the headlines this week after he ordered that the former president of Honduras, Orlando Hernandez, be released from prison where he was serving a sentence for drug charges. The records show Hernandez was released from the high-security facility of USP Hazleton in West Virginia on Monday. Hernandez was found guilty in March 2024 of conspiring to import cocaine to the U.S. and possessing carrying machine guns. He was sentenced to 45 years in prison. The U.S. president said Hernandez had been treated very harshly and unfairly. Hernandez, a member of Honduras's National Party, served as the country's president from 2014 to 2022 and was extradited to the U.S. in April 2022 to stand trial for running a violent drug trafficking conspiracy and helping to smuggle hundreds of tons of cocaine to the U.S. Well, now he's a free man. Well, say no to Jeff and Lauren Bezos. That's the cry from fashion lovers after the power couple was named lead sponsors of next year's Met Gala. But Anna Wintour says Lauren is perfect for this role, describing the former journalist as a great lover of costume and obviously of fashion, and a wonderful asset to the museum and the event. The Bezos were unveiled as lead sponsors of the event last week, along with secondary sponsors French luxury brand Saint Laurent and Vogue publisher Condé Nast. The announcement of Bezos' sponsorship drew immediate backlash on social media, with critics arguing that their involvement highlights a shift towards billionaire control of cultural institutions. Others have argued that the money could be better spent on other causes. And golf great Tiger Woods says he's a ways away from returning to the sport. The 82-time PGA Tour winner has been asked often about getting back on the grass in recent years, but he's once again contemplating undergoing another back surgery. Woods underwent back surgery in October, his second back surgery in a little over a year, and his 7th overall since 2014. He also needed surgery earlier in 2025 to repair a ruptured left Achilles tendon. Woods has not played since the Open Championship in July, and he made 5 starts this season, his lone made cut, though, coming at the Masters, where he finished 60th. Woods withdrew from the Genesis Invitational in February and missed the cut in the other 3 major championships. He says he hasn't played more than 7 events in a calendar year since 2019, but he says he knows this is all a process. He isn't rushing it and is looking to getting back on the green. And could Serena Williams be returning to tennis? According to the blogs, the GOAT, that's the greatest of all time, appears on a list of International Tennis Integrity Agency's website showing players registered in the International Testing Pool. The document is dated October 6, 2025. Williams last played in 2022 when she lost in the U.S. Open. At the time, she did not use the word retirement, instead saying she was evolving away from tennis. But tennis fans don't get too excited. Appearing on the list doesn't necessarily mean Williams will return to competitive action. A spokesperson for the ITIA said she has notified us that she wants to be reinstated into the testing pool. I do know, though, that I do not know if this means she's coming back. Williams is still shown on the ITIA retired players list, showing her as retired since September 3rd, 2022. Retired players may not compete unless they've given at least 6 months written notice of their intent to return to tournament play, as well as make themselves available for testing for a period of 6 months before returning to competition, according to tennis rules. So is this her first step to getting back on the court? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. And finally, in Trend Tracker, if you grew up in the 90s, then listen up. One of our favorite uncles isn't doing too well. Full House star Dave Coulier, known to many of us as Uncle Joey, recently announced that he's been diagnosed with a second type of cancer. Coulier announced last November that he had been diagnosed with stage 3 non-Hodgkin lymphoma, but after 7 months of chemotherapy and during a routine scan in October, doctors found that he also has HPV-related oropharyngeal tongue cancer. The 66-year-old said learning he had another form of cancer, which is unrelated to his original diagnosis, was a shock to the system, adding that it's been a roller coaster. The star says he's been undergoing radiation therapy for it, and that will conclude at the end of December. Coulier said the prognosis is good, though, as the new cancer has a high curability rate, and credits his doctors for early detection. And that's your Trend Tracker. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Brent from CBS Bahamas. You may know us for having the largest online catalog in the Bahamas, but what you may not know is we also have access to over 1 million products through our special order program. If you're looking for something and you can't find it on our website, so long as it's hardware or home improvement related, just let us know. We'll add it to our catalog. You can make the purchase and it'll be here in as little as 10 to 14 days.
It's a celebration. We're rolling out the confetti because it's my birthday. I'll be letting you in on all my favorite things, from the must-haves to the can't live without goodies. Then we're turning the studio into a sweet escape with a birthday cake and sip with a talented local cake artist. This is a party you won't want to miss. Well, thanks for hanging out with us and keeping up with the stories, the style, and the standout moments shaping our day. Don't forget to like, follow, and share with us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS. I'm Anthea Ferguson. Have a great evening, everyone.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. Chamber leaders are warning of a growing skills gap. Plus, nursing removed from the U.S. to list of professional degree programs. Hear what experts at home have to say. Is the Progressive Liberal Party gaining more momentum following the recent by-election? We have reactions.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
They're going to need hundreds more skilled laborers.
Grand Bahama is experiencing a surge in new job openings, but businesses say they can't find enough qualified workers to fill them. Good evening, I'm Ramiko Knowles, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Despite high unemployment, chamber leaders warn of a growing skills gap where the people looking for work simply don't match the jobs now driving the island's economy. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has tonight's top story.
Grand Bahama is seeking a burst of new development, from the shipyard's new dock to several major projects breaking ground across the island. But even with all this activity, employers say they still can't find enough qualified Bahamians to hire. Chamber President Dylan Knowles says the problem isn't a lack of jobs, it's a growing skills gap made wider by attitude and a reluctance among some job seekers to prepare for the opportunities now available. He says the good news is the jobs are here, but people have to be willing to get the training and take the steps needed to fill them.
The shipyard just brought in its newest dry dock, and it's going to have another one coming in a couple of months after that. Those are huge for the employment side of things. They're going to need hundreds more skilled laborers, but we don't have hundreds more skilled laborers.
Knowles echoed Bahamas Chamber Director Peter Gowdy, who says Grand Bahama has a promising future and efforts are underway to motivate and prepare unemployed residents who may be lacking the necessary skills.
The Chamber has been working with the National Training Agency and others, BTVI, to try to help to push the unemployed and in some cases the unemployable into developing the kinds of skills that they would be able to offer to the kinds of openings that are happening on Grand Bahama Island.
And for those working outside their preferred field, the Chamber President says they still should be encouraged because their degree shows they have the ability to learn.
So, there's lots of opportunities to do stuff outside of the field in which you went off to school. The flip side of that is on the end of the spectrum where people are general laborers.
Knowles also notes that while he believes people may eventually move to Grand Bahama as more developments take off, the island already has unemployed residents who should have the first opportunity to fill these jobs before an influx of outsiders arrives to compete for the same positions. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Switching gears now, a U.S. policy change under the Trump administration removing nursing from its list of professional degree programs has sparked global backlash. But in the Bahamas, experts affirm nursing remains a respected profession and local students are unaffected. Still, as our Shalia Roll reports, one Bahamian nursing educator says the real concern is the message it sends to future nurses.
First of all, I do believe that nursing is a profession. The categorization of nursing as a profession by the federal government directly impacts their access to federal funding for grants and scholarships.
The Trump administration in the U.S. recently introduced changes to student loan classifications, removing nursing from its list of professional degree programs. This means students studying nursing in America could now face fewer financial aid options when pursuing advanced studies. But what does this mean for those pursuing a career in the profession? Nurse Darrell Smith at the University of the Bahamas Northern Campus says the move could still have damaging ripple effects, particularly in how future generations view the field.
For the U.S. nurses, most of them, they have to access these grants and scholarships in order to pursue their education. And so if they're maxed out in terms of their ability to access those funds, it may discourage persons from going into that profession.
Smith says Bahamian nurses are not affected by the U.S. changes. In fact, nursing education in the Bahamas continues to be fully recognized and maintained its professional standing.
In the Bahamas, we have the ability to attain our nursing education free through the University of the Bahamas. And it's a benefit that's been available to us for several years because the government recognizes the need for nurses. We've always had a shortage of nurses, and so it's one way to incentivize people into coming into the profession. You can attain your nursing degree on a grant with a stipend
Bahamian nursing leaders say the focus now must remain on strengthening education, protecting the profession, and inspiring the next generation of caregivers. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
Thanks, Shalia. Heading into news from the political front. Following the recent Golden Isles by-election win in the nation's capital, the Progressive Liberal Party cabinet ministers are expressing their confidence going into the general elections to be held in 2026. Our Matthew Martin Burrows spoke with governing party members in this report.
That win showcased that the people of the Bahamas are prepared to again vote for the Progressive Liberal Party.
On November 24th, voters in the nation's capital headed to the polls for the Golden Isles by-election, held to fill the seat left vacant following the passing of MP and Cabinet Minister, the Honorable Vaughn Miller. The PLP's candidate Darren Pickstock was chosen to retain the seat, and he did, winning by just over 200 votes. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says the victory speaks volumes about the party's standing and reflects a high level of confidence from voters. The Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, shares the same view.
I was very, very excited to know that we won. We have a great candidate in Golden Isles. We have so much more to come. We have great candidates throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And I'm excited about the future as we continue to work really hard for the people of the Bahamas.
People still love the Progressive Liberal Party and what it's been doing so far in this administration.
But he says despite the short preparation time for the by-election, support for Pickstock and the party remains strong because of the work completed and underway.
While we may do things nationally as ministers or nationally as a party and as an administration that will please the people, we still have to go in our constituency and do the work. I think in the short period of time that Mr. Pickstock was appointed there to be the bearer for the PLP, I think he's done a great job with the support of myself and all of the other ministers and members of parliament of the Progressive Liberal Party who would have gone on the ground and assist him in that short period of time.
Minister of Labor and Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, says that while the win is a proud achievement for the party, it also highlights areas that need improvement.
Yes, we did win, but
in seeing that we were victorious, we also were able to analyze our machinery, see where we need to strengthen, and that process has begun, even with a meeting like this tonight, where we're galvanizing the troops. We're calling everybody all aboard again, the SSPLP, and we're ready for action. And as we say, it's wartime.
Now, with momentum riding high for the governing party, the next step is the announcement of the remaining candidates for Grand Bahama. In an interview with ZNS News, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis hinted that those names could be revealed during a rally planned for December on Grand Bahama. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
Meanwhile, the Progressive Liberal Party hosting its all-women branch meeting at the party's headquarters on East Sunrise Highway with high-energy speakers and awe-inspiring atmosphere, invoking the attending ladies to be fully prepared for the upcoming 2026 general election. The special guest speaker at the affair, Minister of Labor and Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover Roll, says seeing the women in attendance being fully engaged with one another invoked confidence.
We are preparing ourselves for an election. We just came out of a victorious by-election, and we want to be victorious in our upcoming election. So now we're galvanizing the troops. We're putting out a call to action. We're putting out a charge to ensure that we bring all of our PLPs into the fold, and we prepare for an imminent election.
Echoing those sentiments is Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, as she says the meeting is a perfect foundation for her party as they are gearing up for the general election.
The progress that's been made on this island and the foundation that has been made, the philosophy of the Progressive Liberal Party. So happy to have my sister colleague there, Pia Glover Roll, who was the keynote speaker, and happy to just see everyone coming together to ensure that we win in 2026.
Heading into news from police. Police on Grand Bahama are following leads into an attempted armed robbery that took place at a local business establishment on East Mall Drive on Monday, December 1st, 2025. Reports indicate that it was just after midnight when a female was approached by a male suspect while she was at the establishment's window. The suspect was riding a bicycle when he brandished a firearm and demanded money. The victim responded quickly by closing the window and fleeing toward an office inside the business house. The suspect was last seen heading toward Atlantic Drive. He is described as slim build, tall with a low haircut, and was riding a bicycle with turquoise handlebars. Meanwhile, police are appealing to members of the public for any information that may assist with this investigation.
And still to come.
December is officially Culture Month. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture kicks off festivities with its Cultural Heritage Festival. We'll have the highlights plus sports when we return.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Flash Fridays are back. Join the celebration November 28th, December 5th, and December 12th. 3 Fridays of big savings, special deals, and holiday fun. Shop local, save big, and support Grand Bahama. For details, visit events.gbpa.com. Lighthouse International Ministry invites you to the 16th Church Anniversary Services December 3rd through the 7th. The theme, A Ready Church. Services nightly at 7, climaxing Sunday at 11 a.m. at Angela's Beauty Plaza on Coral Road.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Tickets are on sale now for Festival Noel, Grand Bahama's most popular Christmas event. Make sure you get yours early. Festival Noel was sold out last year, and you don't want to miss the 30th celebration. See you this Friday. This holiday season, downtown Freeport comes alive. The Ministry for Grand Bahama invites you to Holidays in the City Christmas Festival and tree lighting on Saturday, December 6th, starting at 6 p.m. Bring the family for food, entertainment, free face painting, and Christmas stockings for the kids, and the lighting of the Christmas tree. Save the date, Holidays in the City, downtown Freeport, Saturday, December 6th, presented by the Ministry for Grand Bahama. Don't miss it.
It's Christmas time at Grand Bahama Tiles with 5 days of savings you don't want to miss. Starting this Saturday, November 29th, get 25% off all tiles in stock. Then on Monday, December 1st, savings drop to 24% off. Ending Thursday, December 4th with 21% off. The early bird really catches the worm this Christmas as savings drop each day. Hurry down for early Christmas savings at Grand Bahama Tiles. Call them at 352-7920.
Knowing where to go for medical care can save time and keep you healthy. Schedule a visit at Lucayan's Family Care for your primary care needs like annual checkups, preventive care, and management of ongoing conditions like diabetes or hypertension. It's also the right place for minor issues that can wait a few days or for follow-up appointments. Choose our urgent care for injuries or illnesses that need a quick attention but are not life-threatening, like cuts, sprains, or sudden sickness when your doctor isn't available. It's also the best option after hours or on weekends. Go to the emergency room for life-threatening situations like severe chest pain, loss of consciousness, major injuries, or signs of a heart attack or stroke. LFCC Urgent Care, available now. No appointments needed. Evenings, weekends, and holidays. Visit us at number 8 Sears Road, Lucayan Shopping Center, or call 688-LFCC.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. With the month of December being recognized as Culture Month throughout the nation, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture is hosting its Culture Heritage Festival as the official kickoff for month-long activities. Our Matthew Martin-Burrow shares more details in this report.
With infectious rake and scrape music blasting through the speakers, stellar performances by high school pop bands and nationally renowned musicians, to vendors competing with one another as they displayed their best twist in Bahamian dishes, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture is beginning Culture Month with a bang with this Culture Heritage Festival in downtown Freeport.
The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Bowleg, says although the festival itself is heralded as the start of a month centered around honoring and embracing the nation's cultural history, the main goal of the affair is to provide an economic boost to the island of Grand Bahama.
We are trying to find some ways where we could bring some economic boost to the island of Grand Bahama, in particular here in Freeport. As you know, December is considered Culture Month throughout the country with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. And as we have many activities planned and prepared to take place in New Providence, the same thing as here in Grand Bahama.
Providing special remarks and rhythmic dance moves is the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, as she expresses her excitement for what's to come through the entirety of Culture Month.
There's so much more that is planned for culture for the rest of this month coming up. And I'm just excited to see the amount of work that the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture is doing. The Department of Culture, they've been innovative in showcasing our culture.
And some attending locals say they are excited to be a part of the festival and hope events like this one remain a mainstay.
I want to see it again because it isn't as big as right now, but still it can continue to grow.
I think this event is really needed here in Freeport. We need more cultural events like this. We need more opportunities like this for people to get together in a fun atmosphere.
And I am so happy to enjoy the different vendors, the different foods, the different performances, and I am so happy to be here. And I ain't gonna lie, this is a good vibe.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martin-Burrow.
Well, behind the strength of the Bahamas Striping group of companies, the Let's Make a Difference Thanksgiving giveaway campaign is going strong in year 3, with centers throughout the island of Grand Bahama giving away hot Thanksgiving meals. Chairman of the campaign, Melissa Sayers, says ensuring the endeavor continues on annually could not have been possible without the support of the entities volunteering their time and resources.
You have the Kiwanis Club, you have the Pilot Club, the Rotary, you have, I mentioned Lions, the Lions Club, Red Cross. So each one of these organizations have persons that are in these multiple places helping to prepare, give out distribution, and also take up food. And so we want to say again, thank you to these persons that would have assisted in giving up their time.
Now serving as one of the distribution centers this year is the Reach Out Youth Organization led by its founder, Dudley Sade. He says the joyful energy from those receiving meals is infectious, and it's what makes giving back to the community so worthwhile.
You can see the smile on their faces. You know, a lot of times people, power might be off, and they probably can't find no grocery, but today they afforded an opportunity to get a hot meal today. So I'm very, very grateful today.
And that is a look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
Primary school basketball, amigo. I thought I saw Buddy Hield, VJ Edgecombe, DeAndre Ayton.
Well, that's where it starts. That's where it starts.
Rainbow shining, you'll see these highlights, some nice jump shots, crossovers between the leg, all that stuff.
All right, that's coming away next. But first, a check on the local weather forecast.
Forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
It's Christmas time at Grand Bahama Tiles with 5 days of savings you don't want to miss. Starting this Saturday, November 29th, get 25% off all tiles in stock. Then on Monday, December 1st, savings drop to 24% off, ending Thursday, December 4th with 21% off. The early bird really catches the worm this Christmas as savings drop each day. Hurry down for early Christmas savings at Grand Bahama Tiles. Call them at 352-7920.
Do you want to find relief from common health concerns such as headaches, back pain, chronic inflammation, and more? How about improved sleep, boost energy, and improve overall well-being? Check out RA Balance Bahamas and get your body into balance with biomagnetic therapy. For all our social links, contacts, or to request an appointment, visit rabalancebahamas.com.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you came for. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
This holiday season, downtown Freeport comes alive. The Ministry for Grand Bahama invites you to Holidays in the City, Christmas Festival, and tree lighting on Saturday, December 6th, starting at 6 p.m. Bring the family for food, entertainment, free face painting, and Christmas stockings for the kids, and the lighting of the Christmas tree. Save the date, Holidays in the City, downtown Freeport, Saturday, December 6th, presented by the Ministry for Grand Bahama. Don't miss it.
Strength isn't claimed, it's built. At Heroic Concrete, every block is made with purpose, crafted to protect, poured to endure. From ready-mix to premium 8-inch blocks, we supply the strength our nation needs. Proudly made in Grand Bahama, built for hurricanes, built for legacy. Creating products to bring value to our lives and strength to our future. Call 820-4376 or email sales@heroicgrouplimited.com.
Faith, I thought you was lying, but...
Wait, I never is joking here for real.
I didn't know he was here.
He is here. He in the village. It's like he go wait.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, no more guessing, no more speculating, no more assuming. Yours truly, Tico T, a.k.a. Freeport's Minister of Music. I'm here on the all-new Power 104.5, the fun station. So y'all know what to do. Y'all lock in with me, and let's have a good time, all right? The all-new Power 104.5.
The all-new Power 104.5 FM. The fun station.
So remember to join me starting Tuesday, December 2nd at 2 p.m.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Top and Sports. The Jimmy Culmer Keith Mullings Primary School Basketball League continue with 3 games on schedule on Monday at St. George's Gym. In the first game, the defending champions Freeport Primary got the W against Grace Christian, 24-4.
They're coming off another good win earlier this week. I have a good group of boys, and their mindset is they're defending champions from last year as well in the primary school division. So we have 2 returning players from last year, and they're definitely doing their part to make sure they stay undefeated this season.
Next up, the Tabernacle Falcons held Walter Parker to just 4 points, winning this one 11-4 for their second win of the season.
We're 2-1 now. Saw some good things, so the guys still missed a lot of easy shots. You know, we got to go back to the drawing board and fix some things to finish off the rest of the season.
The final game was a high-scoring game with Sunland scoring 23 points to Maurice Moore's 12, giving them the W, led by Coach Forbes.
Coming into the second half, we have Dennis Murray. He played very tough. He put the ball in the hoop, shot the ball. He played great defense. He stole the ball a lot, and he gave us a chance to win this game, man.
And last in sports, the Churchill Tenor-Nose Grand Bahama Games came to an end on the weekend with Team Central Grand Bahama taking home the overall title.
We are so proud of all of the athletes who have come on board and made this happen for the island of Grand Bahama.
I want to say how proud we are of all of you, and we're grateful for the sacrifices and accomplishments that you have had.
To all of the organizers, to Mr. President, Mr. Darrell, you and your team did a wonderful job.
I also want to thank the organizers for this event. We need to continue this event.
Certainly looking forward now to the Bahama Games. And that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Christmas time at Grand Bahama Tiles with 5 days of savings you don't want to miss. Starting this Saturday, November 29th, get 25% off all tiles in stock. Then on Monday, December 1st, savings drop to 24% off. Ending Thursday, December 4th with 21% off. The early bird really catches the worm this Christmas as savings drop each day. Hurry down for early Christmas savings at Grand Bahama Tiles. Call them at 352-7920.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
In the heart of Grand Bahama, near a beach, near a hill, the Grinch was at it again, plotting with skill. This year, I'll stop Christmas for sure. No carols, no cheer, no lights, no more. Holidays in the city? They'll never see me coming. I'll snatch every present. Not a single bell will be drumming. But just as he prepared to ruin the day, a message popped up and stopped him midway.
This year, come join the chair. Holidays in the city is finally here. December 6th, mark that date. Downtown Freeport, don't be late.
Wait, what's this I see? Music, Junkanoo and Bahamian treats, and even better, the entrance is free. The Grinch knew what had to be done. His heart had grown 3 sizes. Alas, Christmas had won.
Starting at 6, the fun begins with music, food, and joyful grins. Bring your family, friends, and holiday zeal. This Christmas is one you cannot steal.
So mark your calendars and join the chair. Holidays in the City is the event of the year. December 6th, music, food, and family fun. Presented by the Ministry for Grand Bahama. Even the Grinch isn't missing this one.
I thought you was lying, but...
Wait, I never is joking here for real.
I didn't know he was here.
He is here. He in the village. It's like they go wait.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, no more guessing, no more speculating, no more assuming. Yours truly, Tico T, a.k.a. Freeport's Minister of Music. I'm here on the all-new Power 104.5, the fun station. So y'all know what to do. Y'all lock in with me, and let's have a good time, all right? The all-new Power 104.5.
The all-new Power 104.5 FM. The fun station.
So remember to join me starting Tuesday, December 2nd at 2 p.m.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
I'm Jay Flip. No wonder we didn't see Liston to work today. Celebrating the birthday,
Celebrating
right?
the birthday. Happy birthday, Liston. He enjoying. He's celebrating.
Happy birthday, LJ.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the green light given for weight loss injections. Head of the Pharmaceutical Association weighs the pros and cons of this global decision. Plus, BTVI board fires back at claims launched by its union. Find out on what ground it's building its argument. And Porter Airlines added reasons to celebrate with the Bahamas. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. More than a week after the Golden Isles by-election, and the conversation continues to center on the voter registry and how accurate it is. In the upper chamber Monday, the Attorney General shared startling numbers that bring sharper focus to the urgency of updating the register. LaDawn Davis joins us on set tonight with more.
Good evening to you. It seems Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, and former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, aren't the only ones calling for the voter register to be updated coming out of the Golden Isles by-election. Voice to the conversation yesterday was Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, as he opened debate on the Data Protection Bill, proposed legislation that ensures that the necessary protections are in place for the collection of biometric data, which includes voter registration data.
Both the PLP, Madam President, and the FNM, in our canvassing of the constituency, and trust me, when the parties rolled out, they had the best canvassers that they have on both sides. Canvassing the constituency, meeting the registered voters or the resident voters, verifying the information, speaking to them. Both parties did it extensively. Maybe one better than the other, but needless to say, the opposition had their forces out as well. However, neither party in the recent by-election, they said somewhere upwards, I think, of 7,900 voters were on the register, right? Okay. Neither party, neither the PLP nor the FNM, with all of our extensive canvassers, every single day in the constituency, neither party found more than approximately 5,500 voters on the register.
A far cry from the 7,926 voters that were said to be registered to cast a vote in the Golden Isles constituency. It also throws into question the actual voter turnout last Monday, pegged at 49%, with 3,884 people actually casting a ballot.
So why was this the case, that there were some 2,500 voters on the register that couldn't be found by either party? Why was that the case? Well, this is because over the last 9 years, since the permanent register was put in place, remember, the former administration put in a permanent register, meaning you don't have to go and register every election. You're permanently on the register, right? There was no active voter transfer initiatives really underway in 9 years. Now, why is that? Well, we had COVID, for example. Nobody is transferring on the voter registration during the 2 years of COVID, right? Just naturally. You're home, you're under curfew, you're under this, you're under that. You're just not focused on transferring your voter registration to any new place.
Senator Pinder's comments, though, follow a recent assurance from Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson that the register has been updated, stressing that the process to clean it up started soon after the 2021 general election. Any suggestion otherwise, he said, is ridiculous. The Attorney General also blamed it on the former administration's snap election in 2021. The voter scrutineering exercise then were never done. Now, Commissioner Thompson has called on all political parties and independent candidates to report pertinent information to his department to prove that persons residing in the constituency have since transferred. Makashla?
Well, thanks, LaDawn. This next story, an international one with a local impact. With obesity reaching alarming levels here in the Bahamas, the World Health Organization is giving the green light, rolling out its first ever global guidelines for GLP-1 drugs as long-term weight loss treatments. With more, here's our Leah Cooper.
The World Health Organization drops its first ever guidelines on GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro, drugs created for diabetes but now widely used to treat obesity, which the WHO calls a chronic relapsing disease. The announcement comes as global obesity rates surge past 1 billion people, with a Pan-American Health Organization report showing the Bahamas leading the Americas in adult obesity, with teen rates second only to Chile. Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association President Dr. Marvin Smith welcomes the guidance, but says it still raises important questions, including how these powerful medications will be used, accessed, and managed here at home.
I think some people believe that these things have been used for so long as an off-label indication that there's enough good data from that end to make these sort of approvals, while other people believe that really you should probably give it a little more time.
Dr. Smith says despite the debate, the reality is clear. People are using these drugs.
A lot of patients globally have really pushed the demand for this. And so it's like, that's our demand anyway. So we have to at least have some standard guidelines.
He's urging health professionals, though, to pay close attention to how patients respond.
Considering the fact that the basic profile of someone who is either obese or morbidly obese means that that patient probably has a number of other metabolic diseases.
And with the rise in demand comes a warning about fake or falsified products, as outlined on WHO's website. But Dr. Smith says there's an agenda in the Caribbean that continually pushes the idea of these falsified medications, but the stats state otherwise.
In almost every country in the Caribbean, 70 to 80% of the medicines dispensed are dispensed through a government procurement program. And all of these government procurement programs have safeguards where they only deal with registered companies, companies that bring dossiers for their registration or have approvals by a major global regulatory agency.
The WHO says its new guidelines are just a start, part of a broader push to treat obesity with the same long-term clinical approach used for other chronic illnesses. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, inflation's upward trend continued this past July, with numbers reflecting a 0.6% increase that month. Behind the uptick, major movements in the average price of goods and services. By category, major categories registering increases: furnishing, household equipment, and routine household maintenance at 10%, health at 4.2%, and housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels at 2.7%. Food and non-alcoholic beverages, meantime, decreased 2.9% compared to the same period last year. However, when compared to the same period last year, prices for both diesel and petrol decreased 1.1% and 1.4%, respectively. Coming up, Porter Airlines' relationship with the Bahamas strengthens. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. That and more when we return.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The best Christmas memories aren't the ones posted, they're the ones that stay. So whether you're here for the original memes or spicy moments, gather round for the memories that truly matter. Share 8 juicy pieces of KFC chicken with your favorite sides and our new coconut dessert biscuits, a holiday treat made to share. Enjoy Christmas without a filter or dish duty, but with the moments that are full of flavor. KFC's Festive Feast, starting at $20. Finger licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
A digital wave is making its mark across the Bahamas. From Grand Bahama to Anagua, Bahamians are embracing smarter ways to pay. The Pay Fast, Live Digital campaign, launched by the Central Bank of the Bahamas and the Clearing Banks Association, is bringing safe, fast, and convenient payment solutions to every island, from online banking to mobile wallets.
We had an incredible turnout, so it gave us an opportunity to have a conversation that they can also be a part of and appreciate.
Remember, people over 60 and around 60, the fear that you talk about, we understand, and we have persons to be able to assist with that.
I learned that digital banking is going to be one of the biggest ways that us as Bahamian kids will benefit in the future.
It has to start somewhere, and this is a good start. We're empowering communities, one town hall at a time. For families, for businesses, for you. Let's live digital.
Sweet and spicy, marinated right, tossed with chili, garlic and ginger. Got many flavors, like honey barbecue.
Signature hot wings, turn up the heat for you.
Ghost pepper wings. What's your flavor? Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
So many flavors to try. What's your flavor? Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know. Ghost pepper wings.
It was the night before Christmas. The stage was set. Big Bang arrived. The biggest yet. Fantasy 5 flashes. Those 5 balls glow. Quick draw. Lotto making winners flow. The island erupted. The cheers grew bigger. Santa laughed out loud. Our balls are bigger. From Moneyland's heart, the truth was clear. At Island Luck, winners live here.
It's an island love Christmas. Joy's in the air. Jackpots are rising. Right there. There's luck everywhere. No snow on the ground. Just sunshine and cheer. It's an island love Christmas. Best time of year.
Big Bang, December 20th. See you there.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the 7th Caribbean Baseball Cup Championship. Come out and support our athletes in action.
You're looking at a shot of the water tower at Fort Finn Castle. The tower underwent extensive renovation and restoration and is nearly complete, just in time for the upcoming holidays. That shot courtesy of our drone pilot, Kyson Miller. Well, welcome back. BTVI Board of Directors seeking to bring some clarity to allegations that outgoing President Dr. Linda Davis is withholding and denying annual increments and other employee benefits. Peeved Bahamas Union of Auxiliary Professionals in Education and the Union of Tertiary Educators of the Bahamas even staged a protest over the issue yesterday, demanding Dr. Davis's immediate removal, and this despite the president's plans to leave BTVI December 20th. The board laying out in a release today that contrary to the assertions under BTVI's established governance structure, as president, Dr. Davis does not possess unilateral authority to withhold, delay, or deny disbursement of any employee benefits. Such decisions, it says, lie strictly with the purview of the board in consultation with the Ministry of Finance. Further, there is the promise that all staff and faculty owed benefits will be compensated. The board also putting it out there that the assessment of professional qualifications are made by NACOB. Well, what's behind, and we cross over now to news from the police, who, fresh on the heels of scrambling to an early morning mishap that ended the life of an RBDF Marine, are investigating another traffic fatality, this one occurring after 2 p.m. Monday on Western Road. Two vehicles, apparently traveling in opposite directions, collided. Based on preliminary investigations, the first vehicle, a white Honda step wagon driven by a male with a male passenger, was significantly damaged in the front. The second was overturned. The female driver was partially ejected from that vehicle in and out of consciousness. She died in hospital soon after. Well, what's behind an elderly man's attempt to end his life early Monday morning? Well, that's the question authorities need answered. Police say the 80-year-old, a resident of a nursing home on Soldier Road, was found with what's believed to be self-inflicted injuries to his left wrist. He was treated with medical personnel confirming that the wounds were superficial. At last report, a specialist was to conduct a further assessment. On a much lighter note, this evening, it's been nearly a week since Canadian airliner Porter Airlines expanded direct service from Toronto to Nassau, and the celebrations on both ends of the route continue. Within the coming days, Porter expects to add routes from Montreal and Ottawa. But Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable I. Chester Cooper, is even more optimistic about where the relationship with Porter Airlines will take the country's tourism brand and the Bahamas-Canadian relations. DPM Cooper was among tourism officials welcoming Porter's inaugural flight to Lynden Pinling International Airport last week. Its arrival completed a year-long of dialogue between the Bahamas and Canada as the Bahamas continues to see strong arrivals out of that market. DPM Cooper has his eyes set on the Bahamas as other destinations added to Porter's itinerary.
Look forward to expanding more routes out of Canada, hopefully direct to some of the other islands of the Bahamas. One day I hope to be able to welcome Porter Airlines to Exuma, for example. All of our islands are beautiful, of course, so I hope that they will go to more than just Exuma. But today, Nassau Paradise Island opens the path and the gateway to the other destinations.
On Ponciana Avenue, 6th Street, The Grove, the streets came alive with quiet reverence. Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Cynthia Pratt, a daughter of the community, officially unveiled her Legacy Hall, a space where her life's work, her milestones, and the countless ways she has touched the lives of Bahamians now stand permanently on display. Walking through the halls, visitors are greeted with more than a story. They capture moments of courage, compassion, and service. A young nurse comforting parents, a minister guiding her flock, a leader lifting the nation through difficult times. Every plaque, every award, every handwritten note reflects a woman who gave her life not to titles, but to the people.
I'm saying this morning, I want you to understand it was not always this way. What you see is totally different from the path in which we've come. Many people don't want to talk about their past. But that's the only way I'm going to motivate you and let you understand, yes, I was once there, but I didn't stay there. My mother didn't have it, I can't blame her. She just didn't have it. But I knew inside there was something.
As the doors of the Legacy Hall swings open in Coconut Grove, future generations will walk through and see the story of Dame Cynthia Pratt, a daughter of the community.
Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you it's not where you are, it's where you're going. You understand what I'm saying? Don't let anybody tell you you will never make it, because you will. You will make it. Inside of you, it's there. And so you don't give up. You fall down, but get up. Get up. Mama don't have it, daddy don't have it. There's no reason to cry over spilled milk. Guess what? You have the ability to help yourself.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage a claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's N-U-A. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
Bahamas, let's go! The 7th Caribbean Baseball Cup hits the Andrew Rogers Stadium December 3rd to the 8th. Watch Team Bahamas as they battle Curacao, the Dominican Republic, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and St. Martin. Game start at 3 p.m. and tickets are on sale now. Bring the noise, bring the pride to the Caribbean Baseball Cup. Be there.
Hiding so you don't have to share. That's crazy. But sharing a 12-pack? That just makes sense. The new Crazy Puffs 12-pack. It's not crazy, it's Little Caesars.
Get your 12-pack Crazy Puff now for just $13.50, VAT inclusive, at Little Caesars, Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Charles Hollis Highway, and Prince Charles in the One East Plaza. Little Caesars, crazy in all the best ways.
Pizza, pizza. Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code. Select your payment amount and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Skits, caroling, dance performances, and even spoil sport, the Grinch. Bahamian culture on full display during last evening's National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony in the heart of downtown Nassau, an event that brought together the young and the young at heart. Desmond Saunders has the story.
The towering National Christmas tree in Rawson Square stands 30 feet tall on a steel frame, requiring a crane to set it in place, and its design, a shimmering angel-themed masterpiece, courtesy of tree curator Vanya Williams, Assistant Director of Culture Portia Sands.
You have the silvers and the golds, and at some point when the lights pop, you'll probably see some angels even hidden inside the tree itself. Miss Williams is fascinated by the tree simply because as a child, she would pass through Rawson Square and admire the tree. And I suppose she never envisioned that she would be the person who would actually be decorating the tree itself.
Monday's tree lighting ceremony brought together Bahamians from all walks of life with bands, skits, poems, and talented students from schools across the country lighting up the stage before the tree did. And when the moment finally came, bright lights erupted into the night sky, all capped off with a burst of junkanoo. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, reminded everyone of the significance of Monday's celebrations.
This season invites us to slow down, to reflect on the blessings that surround us, and to celebrate the traditions that breathe life, meaning, and identity into who we are as a people. As we prepare to light this magnificent Christmas tree, May it shine as a symbol of hope, love, and the unbreakable unity that binds us together. Christmas is more than a holiday. It is a reminder that all of us, that is good within us.
Minister Bullock didn't miss a chance to tie the celebration back to culture, encouraging families to reconnect with traditions that continue to shape the Bahamian experience.
As we also celebrate our rich cultural heritage throughout this month, I invite every family to reconnect with the traditions that makes us proudly Bahamian. Share stories passed down through generations, prepare the meals that warm our hearts, participate in local events that remind us of our shared journey as a nation.
The national Christmas tree shining bright over Nassau's city center, signaling the start of the holiday season, igniting renewed hope for a brighter Bahamas. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Oh, Royston and Marlena over on this side. We have the bright lights, the Christmas tree. We even have Junkanoo. What do you have for us tonight?
Oh, we've got something coming up, Makushla. But first, Cyber Monday has come and gone. I want to know, did you get anything? Are the wallets hurting? Like, what did everyone do?
My bank must be loving me right now. My credit card feels like it's overheating and it needs a cool down period. So I'm trying to take it easy, but my banks I'm sure they're loving it so far. But speaking of Christmas and your Christmas calendar, I hope you got some room there because we're talking all things University of the Bahamas. Their Christmas musical is coming up. We're going to be talking about that tonight as well.
Let's keep the festive spirit going. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report continues after this.
Diet-friendly special.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
You know, Odyssey Dock has changed a lot over the years. But it's still one of the most vibrant, culturally rich spots on the island. And at the heart of it all are the vendors. They've been powering the Bahamian experience for decades without actually having power. But that's about to change. Let's learn about the project that will bring real, reliable electricity to Odyssey Dock.
Odyssey Dock means so much for us as Bahamians. It's a huge economic and cultural hub, and we can admit that in recent years, it's not the way it used to be.
It's hard operating a business with no power when you have seafood in the night. I have to pack up my entire building and take this home to put these stuff on ice and then bring them back. So it's very tedious.
Our main concerns here are related to health and safety. So we know that our vendors operate, many of them, all of them, with no formal electrical infrastructure in place to date. And so we're seeking to correct that.
Many vendors have already prepared their stalls for direct power supply and are more than ready for what's ahead. Here's the breakdown.
At this location will be the central meter house. It will house a number of stack meters
total of 24 on each side. From this point, we have lateral feeds to the individual stalls along both sides of Porter's Key.
Many hope this project will revive what Porter's Key Dock once was.
More than anything, as much as we're putting in the infrastructure, what we're really doing is bringing back a sense of pride, Bahamian pride, and we really want you to get excited. Porter's Key electrification coming first quarter of 2026.
This project is more than just turning the lights on. It's about bringing back the essence of Porter's Key Dock.
Get to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Specializing in soursop, sugar apples, dillies, mangoes, guavas, plums, and well, just about any Bahamian tree, Legacy Farm serves as a healing retreat for anyone who loves all things grown Bahamian. So says its proprietor, Metellus Chipman.
The farm is actually focused on keeping all our native trees, them that these are younger people that don't see, or they don't get to taste our fruit, or, you know, just even to taste the leaves from these trees. So my focus is to actually provide a space that Bahamians, non-Bahamians, tourists, kids to come and experience what I live every day.
Chipman got interested in farming because of a family member. He says he also specializes in sky juice and used much of the property for coconut farming.
So I needed an opportunity to grow more coconuts so I can provide the sky juice. And through the sky juice, then it came the soursop and everything else. So this actually just, like I say, for generations and generations to come. So I had to find a way that I can create these products by growing them myself. I'm making it affordable for not just myself, but other Bahamians to get.
Chipman says farming is sustainable as long as you love what you do. He encourages young people to get into farming to create legacies of their own. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith.
Atlanta is hosting its Dedicated Service Awards. Tonight, we talked to a team member who spent more than 2 decades at the resort.
Plus, young mothers-to-be getting a crash course on the road ahead. Stay close for that.
Also, outstanding students recognized, as they should be. Those details straight ahead.
And coming up in sports, the Bahamas and Canada go down to the wire in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday evening. Good evening. I'm Royson Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Welcome indeed. So Marlena, we've had Thanksgiving, we've had Black Friday, we've had Cyber Monday. Yeah. So today, is there any name for today?
Not that I know of, aside from like maybe Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
I think we're on our way to Christmas aside from Taco Tuesday.
That's music to my ears. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
There you go.
A little off.
There you go. No, it's
Forgive
the
me for
spirit,
that.
Christmas spirit.
But right now, it's time to dive right into the news. At Atlanta's Cafe Martinique, the resort hosted its Dedicated Service Awards, an elegant celebration honoring team members who've devoted more than 2 decades to the property. The event recognized the people whose loyalty and hard work have helped to define the Atlantis experience, including one of its longest-serving employees, Patrick Strawn, who is marking 40 years with the company.
It feels really good, you know. It feels that I'm appreciated. They see what I do, my contributions, and they recognize that, you know, commitment and long-lasting service. You know, we put a lot of time into this. We dedicate our life mostly. 40 years is a very long time. It's almost longer than some people has been alive. So I think that they showed me that they really care about us and they value our service.
Brandon Major, Executive Director of People, Communications and Culture, emphasized just how vital these long-serving team members are to the resort. He says their experience and consistency help shape and guide younger employees, setting the standard and tone for what the Atlantis represents. Major also acknowledged that maintaining the level of excellence being celebrated today comes with internal challenges, ones the resort are actively working to address to ensure its service remains unmatched.
But what I can say is a major challenge that we're seeing, given that this is the Dedicated Service Awards, we're seeing larger amounts of 40-year groups and 30 years and smaller amounts of 10. What that means is our team members and our young people aren't staying at one job long. And a hotel, this industry really needs long service. We like the people to get used to their guests, to see them year after year. And so we see 20 years getting smaller, 40 years growing, which means our older people who will retire, and then young people replacing them are so small. So to keep the culture, we're going to have to continue to develop a environment for them to want to stay.
Well, young women at Pace Bahamas treated to an information-infused session on motherhood and what to expect out of it. Courtesy of nonprofit organization The Give Back Girl, topics ranged from breastfeeding, the physical toll birth can take on the body, and even postpartum depression. No stone was left unturned when it came to the often misunderstood group. And Pace principal Patrice Miller says she and the 7 girls in attendance couldn't be more grateful.
It is a golden opportunity because we have had persons who talk to them about banking, and then we've also had an individual who gave her life story and talk about what it was like to be a teen mother and how she overcame. And then we had the nurse and breastfeeding persons here, and so it's really beneficial for the girls because it gives them an opportunity to prepare for motherhood.
So the persons who we brought, they're open to, if they need further counseling or help.
And nurse at Doctors Hospital Jennifer King and Vice President of the Bahamas National Breastfeeding Association, Nurse Ampusam Simonet, provided a little prenatal care 101, impressing upon the teen mothers these critical practices before and after birth.
You have to eat properly. That does not mean you have to eat steak or grouper, because we can have sardines, very nutritious. Tuna, highly nutritious. You need to eat vegetables and fruits.
By putting your baby to the breast, that time together with you and your baby cannot be exchanged at all. And the next thing is why. Your milk is specially developed for the baby, easily digestible, right temperature.
Congratulations to the new mothers everywhere and your beautiful new arrivals. In a celebration filled with joy, pride, and the promise of bright futures, CJ Atlantic continues to align its vision with the Bahamas Primary School Student of the Year Foundation. Together, they are recognizing scholars not just for their academic achievements, but for their creativity, determination, and courage.
Try to inspire young people, especially at that age group, which previously was not really recognized, to reward the positive habits and reinforce what they're doing to become excellent citizens of the country.
Students recognized carry a spark of promise for Kyrie Campbell, who now attends St. Augustine's College. It's all about his curiosity and determination, which inspires those around him, while the dedication and perseverance from Reagan Moxie of St. Andrews International School has set an example for her peers. Each award celebrates hard work, resilience, and the courage to chase dreams.
I'm grateful that the things that I have done have been acknowledged, and I hope that other students also benefit from this and know that whatever they're doing, just keep on doing it no matter what.
To all the new Student of the Years for the 2026 and 2027, I just want to say, try your hardest, do your best, and it doesn't matter what place you come, because you're already a winner just for everything that you did.
That's a very encouraging message. Still to come, students Nathan Pickering and Shakina Butler are live in studios to talk about the University of the Bahamas' upcoming Christmas musical. And of course, Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean has a look at your weather forecast. So stay close.
Bang ding, ding ding dong, bang bang bang.
Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Dum dum dum. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong.
Bahamas, let's go! The 7th Caribbean Baseball Cup hits the Andre Rogers Stadium December 3rd to the 8th. Watch Team Bahamas as they battle Curacao, the Dominican Republic, U.S. Virgin Island, and St. Martin. Game start at 3 p.m. and tickets are on sale now. Bring the noise, bring the pride to the Caribbean Baseball Cup. Be there.
It's a different kind of Christmas, but everything is here to bring a smile upon your face. That's what the season brings now. See, Christmas time is the time for your family and friends. Come and shop with us and find everything that you need. Deck out your homes with all we have in store, bringing joy and so much more. And shop Smarty, and shop Smart, and shop Smart. Oh, everything is here at Shop Smart. And shop Smart, and shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
It's time now for your Access weather forecast. We have a frontal boundary heading our way. Right now, it's presently approaching our central Florida that will continue to sink towards the south and east. We expect increasing cloudiness beginning tonight, particularly over the extreme northwestern parts of the country. And by tomorrow afternoon, that frontal boundary should push through the capital. It's a rather weak one, but there's a secondary front that we anticipate over the next week or so that will usher in some cooler temperatures. But until then, we'll have to deal with this weak frontal system, which is heading our way. And your live weather radar is showing those showers now approaching our Grand Bahama and the northern Abacos, and they could even get some thunderstorms in the mix as well. But later on tonight, as that front boundary gets a little closer. And your forecast for tonight in the northwestern parts of our country, those boating forecasts are going to be out of the southwest. Speeds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. So we're asking small craft to exercise caution in the northwestern Bahamas tonight. And your low tide, well, that will take place at 11:17 tonight. And then as we head into the central parts of the country, those winds are going to be pretty nice. Light and variable with flat seas 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. In the southeastern island, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. And then on Wednesday, middle of the week, in the northwestern central islands, once again, light and variable winds with flat seas 1 to 3 feet. The high tide will take place at 5:45 in the morning, with the low tide at 12:16 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas tomorrow, winds northeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And then as we go into Thursday, behind that front for all areas, we're going to have some northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. The high tide will take place at 6:39 in the morning, with a low tide at 1:10 in the afternoon. Well, that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Royston and Malina.
Thank you so much, Basil. Tonight, we're joined by students Nathan Pickering and Shekinah Butler to talk about the University of the Bahamas' upcoming Christmas concert.
Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So tell us about the upcoming Christmas concert. Is this a tradition happening yearly, or this is a new event?
This is a tradition happening yearly, every 2 years, twice every year. So one in the spring semester, one in the Christmas semester.
Tell us what it's all about.
Yeah.
So the concert is going to be the concert choir, the concert band. This year we have a new group called Fortissimo, that's a trombone quartet.
Ooh.
And we also have the chamber singers.
Wonderful, that sounds
Yes.
very exciting. So you both are participating in this concert performing. Can you tell us what your roles are?
We're both in the concert choir.
Yes. And I am in the concert band, Fortissimo, and chamber singers.
Oh, you're in a little bit of everything. So
I'm
what goes into preparing for that, for you? And then I'm sure yours is a much more extensive schedule, but what goes into preparing for this kind of concert?
Okay, so with UB Concert Choir, we usually have practices twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5:50. It's not very rigorous, but we, especially with the music students, we get to hear the notes, we get to see exactly what it is that we're doing, and we spend time, usually about 30 minutes to an hour, to make sure we get different parts and everything sorted out to know what the songs are so that we can sing them by memory for the concert.
Wow, that's quite a lot, and quite a lot to do in a very short period of time. Now, there are a lot of Christmas events on the Christmas calendar, on the social calendar as well. What makes this so special and unique, and why should people really attend this one?
Well, our concert is a little different. I don't think there's anything like it. Our concert band is the biggest thing we have to an orchestra, a professional orchestra. Even though we're not that big, an orchestra is like 100 people. We only have about 60. But it's
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. So if you think about, say you're watching a movie, that music you're hearing in the background, that's an orchestra playing. So when you hear us play, it'll be like you're hearing music from a movie.
It sounds like you're promising a blow-away experience.
Oh, yeah.
I promise you.
Now, before we let you go, can you tell us when and where this concert is going to be and where we can find ourselves some tickets?
This concert is going to be at Breezes Super Club, Sunday night, December 7th at 6 p.m. sharp.
Awesome. And where can we get the tickets? At the door, online?
You can get tickets at the door, or you can come to UB and pick up some tickets from Dr. Paul Jones, our HOD.
Wonderful. There you go. Thank you
Make sure
so
people
much.
don't miss it. Well, thank you both so much for coming on the show. Of course, we wish you all the best with the upcoming concert. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing.
It will be.
Yes, you will.
Thanks
We'll
again.
knock your socks off.
Absolutely. It's time now to turn things over to ZNS Total Sports to see what's on tap.
The Bahamas and Canada play a nail-biter in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal? At the check-in counter? At security checkpoints? Or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
Welcome to your Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Bahamas' senior men's national basketball team had a much better showing in the second game of a home and away series with Canada, but still fell, losing 94-88 in Toronto, Ontario, Canada on Monday night. 242 was led by Garvin Clark, who had a huge double-double with 20 points and 13 assists. He also shot 6 for 13 from the field and 4 of 10 from three-point range. Point guard Dominic Bridgewater added 18 as well. Isaiah Mobley dropped in 16. Rashad Davis had 15 on a perfect shooting night, connecting on 6 of 6 shots from the field, including 2 from three-point range. Bahamas got as close as 2 points in the final minutes of the game, but just couldn't get that game-tying shot or potential go-ahead basket to fall. Bahamas will now play 2 away games against Jamaica and Puerto Rico at the end of February and beginning of March next year, and will then host those 2 countries in July 2026. Switching gears to the Diamond, the Bahamas set to swing into action tomorrow with the opening game of the 7th edition of the Caribbean Baseball Cup. The roster comprises some elite talent, so for head coach Michael Butler, the goal for the team is certainly clear.
We have a goal, and our goal is to play with passion, to be confident, and to get the job done, and that means to qualify for the CAC games.
As for the schedule for Team Bahamas, they open up competition tomorrow against the U.S. Virgin Islands. First pitch at 7 p.m. An off day on Thursday before resuming action on Friday against regional power, the Dominican Republic, at 7 p.m. Then on Saturday, they will take on Curacao before rounding out pool play against St. Martin on Sunday. If the Bahamas advances, the medal games will be played on Monday. Now, of course, all the action taking place at the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium. Ticket prices for a daily pass starts at $15 and $5 for kids 11 and under. And that's been a check on your sports on this Tuesday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Here looking at a shot of the Bahamas All-Star Marching Band. The band recently received its official invitation to the 41st New Year's Day Parade and Festival in London. Time now to take a look at what's happening around the Family Islands, so let's go.
Tourism Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Chester Cooper, sharing details of the government's ambitious 5 to 10-year roadmap. The plan aims to not only attract visitors, but also seek to ensure that every island community shares benefits through innovation, diversification, and sustainable growth.
We're building our product. We're going to continue to advance and grow cultural heritage tourism. We're investing heavily in the infrastructure at the moment.
We're investing in docks and roads, and we're investing in education, hospitality education. Importantly, though, we're building airports, and we're building infrastructure for resorts. $12 billion of new investments in the pipeline. So over the course of time, this will play very positively for stopover visitors. They spend more, as you know. We're still doing extremely well. The fourth quarter is very strong.
Well, you know where we are in the show. It's time now for Let's Talk Socials with Matea Stewart.
For today's Let's Talk Socials, Christmas officially soft launched at the Mall at Marathon. And listen, Santa did not come low vibrational this year. Christina Rollins caught the whole scene as the Royal Bahamas Police Force pop band played like they were headlining their own holiday tour. Then, out of nowhere, Santa, the reindeer crew, and even the Grinch pulled up like a full crossover episode. Take a look at this gem. The comments were giving everything from Santa ain't come to play to get them Santa. And of course, the internet couldn't ignore it. Not Mrs. Claus getting jiggy. Honestly, only in the Bahamas you'll see Christmas kick off with this much energy, this much personality, and this much pure holiday chaos in the best way possible. I'm Matea, and I'm bringing you Let's Talk Jingle Bells. Let's Talk Socials.
Let's talk Jingle Bells. I like that. And get them Santa is right. Like that.
If your Christmas team isn't muggling like that, we don't want them.
Being serious.
I'm in muggling just like that. It was amazing. That's going to do it for Access Now for tonight. Join us tomorrow night when we'll have Sandra Russell joining us live in studio to talk all things Tea Festival.
And stay tuned for the rundown with Clint Watson. Tonight is the Political Roundtable. Good night, everybody.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
No human being has ever set foot in Santa's workshop. That is until Buddy. I hear you're going on a journey to the big city.
Can't wait to see my dad.
Dad! You look like you came from the North Pole.
That's exactly where I came from.
You like sugar, huh?
Is there sugar and syrup?
Yes.
Then yes.
We can't leave him alone. He's going to destroy the place.
These guys are bad news.
Snowball.
Where did you say you were from?
Fruit spray? Wow.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
Santa here? I know him. I know him.
This holiday season, the music of Christmas comes alive with the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band at the annual Christmas Beat Retreat. Experience festive melodies, vibrant performances, and the proud tradition of one of the nation's most beloved bands. It's the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band's annual Christmas Beat Retreat, Sunday, December 14th at 4 p.m. live, right here on the ZNS television network and live streaming on our Facebook and YouTube platforms.
When the McAllister family left on their Christmas vacation,
Did we miss the flight? No, you just made it.
they forgot one small thing.
Kevin!
Alone.
Police in the northern suburbs are on the lookout for a pair of burglars who are calling themselves the Wet Bandits.
We know that you're in there.
It's Santa Claus and it's Elf.
Get off my property.
This is my house. I have to defend it.
Yes! Where are you, you little creep?
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
From John Hughes, a family comedy without the family. Home Alone.
ZNS Radio and Television presents its annual Christmas Jingle. Join us here Friday, December 12th, as we host the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band. Tune in as they play all your Christmas favorites. That's Friday, December 12th, beginning at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS Network.
You'll be so blue just thinking about you.
Bahamas, let's go! The 7th Caribbean Baseball Cup hits the Andrew Rogers Stadium December 3rd to the 8th. Watch Team Bahamas as they battle Curacao, the Dominican Republic, U.S. Virgin Island, and St. Martin. Game start at 3 p.m. and tickets are on sale now. Bring the noise, bring the pride to the Caribbean Baseball Cup. Be there.
I don't know, but there's all kinds of cars in the parking lot. You ain't even know where to park. Yeah, that's no parking. Look at this way. Like, you ain't getting nowhere to go. Don't park him. Just don't park him.
Don't park over here. That's handicap.
No, you can't park him. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot here.
Boy, what's going on, dog?
I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way park here.
I tell you we shouldn't park here.
Don't get one of these things. My bad big bro, and he got a sticker inside that say this mod though. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
You're probably wondering what I'm doing here sitting in our amazing studio. Well, I'm preparing for my new show coming this fall. In Depth with Mukesh Lapinder is a Sunday magazine-style show with timely investigations and deep explorations into the country's ills and triumphs. So join me on Sundays at 10 a.m. this fall for long-form and engaging conversations. And remember, only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
I put my foolish pride aside in acknowledgement of your goodness. Everything is the Lord's in the earth in its fullness.
It's M-A-D-I-O Mario, and I'm inviting you to tune into Entertainment Fridays on the Bahamas Tonight. Access now at 7:30 p.m. You miss it, you diss it.
To fall, but was caught before I fell. Was so hard-headed, too stubborn, I asked for help.
That's the Bahamas Tonight. Access now, weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better. coming this fall. Royston Jones and Melina Leonard on the Bahamas Tonight. Access now. Weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Tune in and get your fill of community news. Family Island news, entertainment, and, well, sometimes slithering animals. That's the Bahamas Tonight. Access now. Weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
We lead off with this report. This one is a good one to lead off with for Sunday.
Your weekend news just got better. Exciting features, good vibes. It's all about the feeling.
Hey, I'm Raven, and your Sundays never felt so good. Tune into Northern Service Vibes, where culture meets conversation, every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. only on the ZNS Network.
In a test of knowledge, creativity, and teamwork, 9 schools rise to the challenge. Mary Starr, Tabernacle, Jack Hayward, St. George's, Bishop Michael Eldon, 8 Mile Rock, St. Paul's, Grand Bahama Academy, and Sunland. The brightest young minds go head to head. Who will lead? Who will win? Who will make history in the battle of the brains? Powered by Grand Bahama Power.
ZNS Radio and Television presents its annual Christmas Jingle. Join us here Friday, December 12th, as we host the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band. Tune in as they play all your Christmas favorites. That's Friday, December 12th, beginning at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS Network.
It'll be so blue just thinking about you.
Bahamas, let's go! The 7th Caribbean Baseball Cup hits the Andrew Rogers Stadium December 3rd to the 8th. Watch Team Bahamas as they battle Curacao, the Dominican Republic, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and St. Martin. Game start at 3 p.m. and tickets are on sale now. Bring the noise, bring the pride to the Caribbean Baseball Cup. Be there.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's great to have you all with us tonight. Well, it's a thought on the mind of many young adult voters, the need to have their own home, or at least comfortable housing. Some believe we are at a crisis point in housing. Qualifying for a mortgage seems impossible with local banks, and finding property or housing seems even more impossible. Now, for those who rent, that too is a crisis. Rent these days seems to be more like mortgage payments, yet the space is pretty basic. Small and overpriced, to say the least. Landlords want to make a profit, and with property taxes and fees hanging right over them, they're forced to go up on the rent. Now, what's making this decision easy is a thirsty market that's out there needing to rent. If you question the high payment, someone else will snatch the rental property right from you. So how do we fix this issue? How do we deal with this crisis? Tonight, our political roundtable deals with this issue with a popular real estate agent who has been in the market for years now and will, of course, give us some information and dialogue on this matter. Let's meet Darren Seymour, of course. Darren Seymour has been in this market for some time now. He understands what the market trends are. He understands what exactly people are searching for. First of all, Darren, I think it's safe to say there is an appetite for housing in this country today, correct?
Definitely a high demand and in some cases low supply. And so we need to improve our system, Clint, all around. We're grateful for, at HC Christie we talk about luxury. Luxury is a system. Yeah. It's our banking system, it's our legal system, it's our regulatory system. It all works together to make it work. And what we need to do is give Bahamians access to capital. If you don't have access to capital, you can't have generational wealth. So that's what we're talking about, building a future for Bahamians and for generations to come.
Is that the biggest problem you have when people are in the market shopping for some place to live, to rent, or to buy, or to build? Is their biggest issue, how do I get financing?
That's a major problem. But beyond that, we encourage people to be pre-qualified. But the problem is, what about the person who comes and they're pre-qualified and they go to the banks and the banks still tell them no? It's like you're putting hurdles in the way of Bahamians. It's like, you know, they meet the requirement and then you lift the bar.
So if people are pre-qualifying based on what you as a real estate company believe should qualify people to have their own home or their own property, but yet they go to the bank and they're not be able to get the finance.
And they're not approved. Pre-qualification doesn't mean pre-approval. So you have people walking around with a nice pre-qualification letter, but at the end of the day, when they get to the finish line, they are disappointed. And so people are frustrated. You can imagine paying for valuations and all these things, going through the process, that at the end of the day, they tell you it's not possible. I'm talking about a real situation. I'm talking about Mr. Smeeting, who I just gave the keys to yesterday. One bank, which was set up by the law to help Bahamians with places to go, refused them. But we found a way around the system. But what about the persons who don't meet a real estate agent like Darren?
Correct.
They fall through the system, and many people are disenfranchised and blocked out. And you rob them of their Bahamian birthright because they're refused. The system needs to be fixed. The system, the regulatory system, the banking system, all that needs to be fixed. But there is hope. There is hope.
I want to find that out, because you said you were able to give somebody their keys who couldn't get it through the bank.
Yes.
How were you able to do that?
They were told no. Well, you can have a policy. The banks have different policies. And so if one bank's policy is this, do you believe in this country they are telling people that, oh, you can't live in this particular area because the bank does not, the bank deems that property, that area too risky? Python Road?
Really?
Where's your vision? Are you telling me that because Python Road is what it is, you don't believe in gentrification?
So banks are telling people it's too risky?
Yes. They don't want to. You're too close to Camp Road. Come on, let's get down home now. So what you're doing is you're basically hindering the future of this country because you're preventing them, Camp Road, from being. You could transform Camp Road, but why are we not having transformation? Why don't you have give them a platform to say, okay, what do we need to do now to improve the system to make Python Road what we want it to be? Why don't we have a conversation with the political leaders and say, okay, well, perhaps we need a park to make it more feasible.
Right.
We need to have these conversations. But I must commend one bank. I mean, I don't want to be biased, but on more than one occasion, Scotiabank came through for that client. And so he's a homeowner now. Of course, he engaged his agent, Sarah Appleton at H.E. Christie. I was the listing agent, and we were able to work miracles. It is a miracle. But why do I have to struggle like this? And what about those who are falling through the cracks? That's the problem. That's the challenge.
Yes.
Okay. And this is the cry of Bahamians who are qualified, but you are choking them by your system. And so we need to improve service. We need to improve the systems, the policies, and we need consistency. It shows that you're inconsistent because if one bank is saying this and the other bank is saying that. Now, of course, we know the government don't really control the bank's policies. But my God.
But they can't.
If you have a Bahamian
they say they
bank,
don't, but they can't.
If you call yourself Bahamian bank.
If you have a bank in your country, you have the ability through your legislative ability and also the central bank who monitor these banks to make sure policies. I want to bring the round table in here because to me, this is ridiculous in 21st century because that should be the basic requirement to make sure housing. I mean, if we have Bahamians that cannot get homes, it's further compounding an already burdensome housing crisis. I'm going to start with you, Doc. I always start with you, Doc. We're hearing now these issues with commercial banks. And of course, commercial banks, they're in the business, let's be honest, their main priority is to make money. They got to make a profit. Right. So while a lot of these commercial banks can say, we care about you, do they really? They are there to really make the profit. And too many Bahamians are falling through the cracks because they're not meeting these burdensome requirements for home ownership. And that's why so many Bahamians don't have their own homes.
Well, let's start out. He made some very good points about housing, the housing crisis, rental crisis. a lot of people are transferring their homes into Airbnb, so that's causing a dwindle on it. So I would say I think the price of real estate went up 14% over the from 2010 to 2022, if I remember. The price of properties went up 14%, whereas the wages only went up 2%. So there's a big disparity, and that's why a lot of people were not able to build their homes between 2010 to 2022. You understand? And of course, you know, there's a big difference in supply and demand. Economics 101 teaches us that. With the immigration, a number of people came into the country, and of course you have the shanty towns that were, some of them were broken down, not all of them, and so these people were looking for housing. And that also created a housing crisis in the Bahamas.
There's more people now in the market.
More people in the market, and so the price of rent went up, and so a lot of people cannot afford it. Now I can tell you what COI plan to do. COI plan to, first of all, we want to subsidize mortgages and make it more accessible to Bahamian people.
How? How are you going to subsidize?
The rate. The rate, we have to put the rate down. And we have to do banking reform. I think sometimes these banks get away with too much. And I think there's no oversight in some of the banking laws. So we would like to do that. Another thing, he mentioned Kemp Road. We're going to have a ministry, COI will have a ministry of urban development. I don't think the Bahamas has ever had a special ministry just for that, where we want to, no, seriously, a special urban development where we could build rental units in certain areas of Nassau. Another area that we can help with housing would be, you could actually, I wrote something down here. Oh, right, relaxed zoning. Because right now, Nassau have a lot of areas where you can only have single family dwelling. What if we change that to multi-family dwellings, change the zoning, so that then you'll have more people, like more rental units, more townhouses in those areas. So we're suggesting that. And then another thing for housing crisis, I was online the other day and I was looking at some of these modular units that they're building in China. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was prefab modular constructed units, and they were bringing them in, and you could build your house in 3 weeks, and they said it was sustainable to
even in hurricane zone.
Right. They said they were up to 150 miles an hour, these structures. And I thought that would revolutionize the market. So that would be something that I personally would want to look into for the housing market. That would revolutionize it.
Let me ask you, Darren, what are people looking for when they come into the real estate companies? What are they looking for?
Bahamians are not looking for handouts, you know. For the most part of it. You have, there are Bahamians who want you to just fix the system. You've been preaching from way back, from the first Prime Minister's time. You know, I'm not trying to be political, to save. So Bahamians are saving. They want you to...
They are saving.
Yes, they are saving. And there are Bahamians who are qualified. What hurts me is when you have qualified Bahamians and you're frustrating them with your system. Now, that's the banking system. Bahamians just want the system to be efficient. Come on, just give me a fair chance, okay? We have the foreigners and we encourage foreign direct investment. We love them. But what do you say when they come here with their
Let
finance?
me ask you, Darren, are they taking advantage of the market?
Who, Bahamians?
Foreigners.
Listen, if you have a condo in New York for $250,000 and I could afford it, why not? The world is a global village. We don't want to be like some countries now that are being prejudiced, you know. So we encourage that in the Bahamas. And of course,
and they're taking advantage of it. They have the capital.
People all around the world take advantage of opportunities any way you see it. And Bahamians too are taking advantage. You know, they are Bahamian cash buyers. What I'm saying is for the average Bahamians who do not have access to capital and who are working hard and doing what the thing. There are some Bahamians who are leaving this country. I just talked to my client, leaving this country, going to places where they can have further benefits. We're talking about housing today, but some leave because of health reasons, or they get their children education free. But it's all connected. So we're talking about a whole system. We're talking about luxury, a whole system. And what I'm saying is that, okay, if you have a client coming here with cash for 10 days, and you have a Bahamian who may be qualified, but it's going to take, the system takes them 6 months to qualify. Who do you think is going to get that property?
Wow.
If you're selling your property and you could get it done in 10 days, you're going to give it to the person who could come in 10 days. So you see the unfairness. So what you need to do is close the gap with the person who's coming with the cash, assure the seller that this person, in fact, some sellers want to sell to the Bahamian, but they're frustrated because every time they're working with a bank, it takes forever. So that means that the system is broken, and we need to fix the system.
Agreed. Let me get Colin there.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so the housing, this is a crisis, to say the least. I believe one of the things that we should adopt as a country is to stop selling land to foreigners. Real estate agents, because they're looking to make their commission, and they can get it faster if they have a cash sale with a foreigner. They'll be inclined to sell it more to foreigners. I believe that as a country, we need to bring some regulation on how much of our property we give away to foreigners. Furthermore, I was trying to look for the central bank report that was done over 10 years ago that talked about a housing crisis, and that the Bahamas was short some 30,000 housing units.
That's a lot.
And that was more than 10 years ago. And so you can imagine what that number is today. I believe that, banks have to be much more regulated than they are now. Dr. McGyver talked about urban development. I just want to make a correction there. There is an urban renewal authority.
It's different. It's different from urban development.
But there's a ministry. It's called Ministry of Housing and Urban Development.
Right. No, urban renewal.
No, it's called urban. It's called urban development.
Two different things.
So that's, let me just bring a correction. There is an authority responsible for the revitalization of urban centers. The government has the Clear Hole and Build initiative. And what has been happening in the Ministry of Housing is derelict properties in the inner city. He talks about the banks not wanting to give mortgages in certain areas. So the government has taken an approach where they have compulsory acquire derelict properties in the inner city community, revitalizing them or building small affordable housing on them and giving them to Bahamians. So we talk about transforming communities. And so this would allow for a total community transformation. So you would take these derelict properties, you would build small homes on it, or affordable homes, not small homes, affordable home, you revitalize the area. And that is a help to the housing crisis. And the reality is the government has several subdivisions going up in Nassau, Abaco, Grand Bahama, San Salvador, Eleuthera. So subdivisions are building all over the country for affordable housing, and then government also have adopted the condo or townhouse style structure so it can be able to house more families. But the reality is, it cannot be on the government alone to solve the housing crisis. I believe that the banks...
It has to be an effort by the commercial banks. They got to say, okay, for the next year, we're going into amnesty period in banks, and we're going to relax a lot of these requirements, and let's get people in houses.
But you know what is so amazing?
Why is that so difficult to do?
The bank will give you a $50,000 loan with no collateral involved.
For car.
For car, consumer loan. But the bank will not give you a $50,000 loan to buy a piece of property.
No.
They make it extremely difficult to get a piece of property which is collateral. But they'll give you a $50,000 loan, burning you down with these consumer loan. And then when it's time for you to get later on and like say, let me get a house. You're so solid with these consumer loan, your debt, the service ratio is so high that you cannot afford a house. So the banks needs to be checked by the central bank for these predatory lendings that they are doing to Bahamians. The banks are the biggest reason why Bahamians are financially suffering in this country.
Clint, on the other hand, I do commend the central bank. This year, I think it's this year or early last year, they introduced a policy basically relaxing controls in terms of deposits. So First Caribbean used to do it, and also Bank of the Bahamas, because they have something called indemnity insurance. But the central bank has improved, relaxed controls all across the board. So you'll see, for example, Scotiabank now, who used to be known for higher down payments, allowing 5% once you qualify. So that's a good
They've
system.
done their part.
That's an example of improving the system to help Bahamians. We're not saying to be irresponsible. We don't want Bahamians to be irresponsible and just go take advantage of that, and then when you give them a loan, it costs our rating in the world to come down. I'm talking about helping Bahamians. What I'm talking about is creating incentives for developers, creating incentives for business owners who are the heartbeat of this country, creating opportunities for them and giving them capital in order for them to now create even more opportunities. For example, you have developments, behemoths who involve in development, encouraging that kind of thing so that persons on the lower level encourage the business people. They're employing the staff. What are you doing to help capital?
What are the senators you're doing?
Now, everybody knows that the banks don't like to, generally don't like to give for commercial. But that's where the policy
And again, if they don't like give for commercial, then who's going to lend it?
So
who's going to lend it?
So let me
How are you going to expand your business if the bank won't take a risk with you?
Right. Let me jump in right there, Clinton. Brother Seymour, it's a pleasure to have you on the show this evening. One of the things you touched on just now, and I feel your passion. I really feel it, and obviously it's something that you love to do in regards to the Bahamian people and their suffering in regards to getting crisis. But what's so funny is the fact that when the leader of the opposition, Michael Pinto, said we're going to explode in terms of the housing revolution and build thousands of homes within a year, Carl, one of my good friends, he found it to be actually funny. It was actually a joke to him, right? But one of the things you mentioned is that we have to be innovative and we have to be creative in terms of how do we tap into the market. One of the things the FLM is going to do, and you just made the good point, that's why I said let me jump in right there, is we have to empower Bahamians who are actually in the industry, construction, engineers, innovators, find ways to give them grants, find ways to give capital to them. Look at policies. I disagree with us having to stop selling foreigners our land per se, but what I would agree is that if a foreigner has a 2% mortgage where they live, and they could get the same rate here, why can't Bahamians benefit from these same type of tax incentives and breaks? So if they could get a lower mortgage rate, automatically for Bahamians it should be the same thing. They should be able, even with Bahamians in terms of concessionary, in terms of building supplies and that sort of stuff, we could look at ways, like you say, as legislators or as leaders, to find ways to get creative, to make the market a little more affordable and a little easy for the Bahamian people. And one of the things we're trying to do as the FNM is, even with the down payment, look at ways that we could avoid Bahamians with having to come down with the initial down payment, talking to the banks to tell them, pause the down payment. Let's see whatever they qualify for. Let's see if we can get them work around to get them the cash and then come back on the backside and say, we close off the payment. And so I think it's literally serious. We have to get innovative. And I think, like you say, it's cross-sectorial. We have to sit down, talk to the relevant stakeholders, but definitely we got to be serious with these banks. And I have the view that whoever's sitting down to the table, this is our land. This is our country. I feel like if you don't want to be in line with what it is that we want for our people as legislators, then we got to move you to the side because there are many other people who are looking to set up business opportunities and set up banks right here in our country. And so I think we just need to be a little more forceful with these banks and ensuring that, hey man, you're killing our people and we need to make do with this.
Should our people not be renting to own?
Let me share.
If you look at the amount of rent a single mother will pay in, let's say, a 10, 15-year period, couldn't that have been a good injection into a home for her?
Let me say this. Let me say this, Brother Clint. When I just need some clarity. You said foreigners pay a different mortgage rate than Bahamians?
Yes, in certain areas. So if there's a second homeowner, right now they get the interest rate of where they live. Okay. They could apply their same interest rate here in our country. So the regular rate wouldn't apply to them.
So let me just say this. I wholeheartedly agree with the rent to own. I believe that, oh boy, that in itself should be explored. One of the things that I want to commend the government on is actually not just talking about rent to own, but initiating it, starting it, and having Bahamians benefit. And the government's rent to own program is much more feasible and affordable than you would pay outside of there. I know of cases where single mother family with 4 kids, 1 handicap, $800 a month on a rent-to-own bill. So she's in a house, she's paying $800 a month, and it is reduced because she rented an apartment in Pinewood paying $2,000 a month.
How are people paying $2,000 a month for an apartment?
That's
more than a mortgage payment.
Because of the government's rent-to-own program, you now save that family $1,200 a month. And the rent-to-own, let me say this, the government's rent-to-own is very much flexible. If you have consumer debt, right, you could come to the government and say, hey, this is my pay stub, I'm burdened down with debt. So the government could could take a position where they say, okay, you don't have to have a down payment to come in. If you qualify for a mortgage, right, but you don't have the down payment, the government could say, okay, pay $800 a month for 2 years, and we'll take that, give it to the bank as your down payment. So you will have a sizable amount of money to put on the principal of your mortgage. And so I believe that the system or the idea of the rent-to-own that the Davis administration has already implemented should be adopted straight across the board. I think banks should look at it. Banks have these massive amount of repossessed homes. Why you can't rent-to-own those homes?
Good point, good point.
Allow me, good evening, everyone. You know, I want to go back to one of the first things that Mr. Seymour brought to our attention. And I am almost disheartened to understand that a person seeking a home near Kemp Road is told, no, it's too risky. So if he is told because he is near, we're not going to invest in you, what are they telling Kemp Road? That means they're out of the race. And I take it personal because I'm on the ground, not because of politics. When I'm not at this table, there's another table I'm at that's in the trenches. It's in Kemp Road. For example, Dr. Sandra McDonald could use some help. She's there monthly, feeding, clothing persons, along with the Grace Center team. So I just want to pay my respects to Pastor Glenn Roll, who, you know, you're on the ground. So while there are persons profiting from the top end, Clint, what I'm saying is there are those of us who are on the other end trying to keep persons from the brink of giving up, or from hopelessness, or from turning to the wrong type of lifestyle. So I just want to make sure we understand. This is influencing crime also. Yes. When persons feel alienated or that they are not a stakeholder in the community. That's on the one side. And I just want to close this portion by saying that in terms of the housing, this government knew the housing challenges, yet they demolished, both administrations carried out demolishing exercises in terms of shanty towns with no plans of where these persons would go. So they now created, they exacerbated the situation by needing a massive demand for homes instantly. And this is what we've been saying over the last few years.
I want to say something. There are two other incentives that I can think of to spur housing, to mitigate the housing crisis, and that is COI wants to give 1 acre of crown land on the family islands. That will incentivize people to move to the family islands because we have to depopulate Nassau at some point. And that will spur activity on the family islands because we want to get into what we call island states. That will work perfectly into it. People will now have something that they own, and it'll be easier to get a mortgage if you already own the property.
The land is cheaper, definitely.
Right. And another incentive would be, since a lot of people are taking their homes into Airbnb, maybe what we could do is incentivize people to do long-term rentals and move away from the Airbnb. And so that is another way to have more rental units in Nassau.
Darren will give you the final word in this segment, and that is, of course, there is hope for those who've been told no. What do you want to say to them?
I want to say that the banks are not our enemies. We need to work together. Like I've demonstrated with the scenario I gave, banks are trying to help. And also, at the end of the day, we have to look at this from a macro point of view, how our country, I'm not one to encourage handouts. I came from a single family home. My mother never taught us to beg. She owned not just one, 2 houses, but the sweat of her own hand. She didn't have to sell herself. So this is very personal to me. Bahamians can have an opportunity to succeed. All we need is access. You give us access, we will take it and run with it. We need the system to work together. We need regulatory system to work with the banking system, to work with the legal system. That's a whole thing we didn't even touch.
Because I tell you, but them lawyers, I can tell you going tripping in a house.
Yeah, it's a
legal
whole
fees,
system. Bahamians don't just want to look at luxury. We want to access luxury.
There you go.
Okay, and so we have to open the door for Bahamians by just give them a chance, and Bahamians are qualified. You Bahamians are qualified, but just need the system to work. Bahamians too. We need to stop being so negative, have a positive attitude, even with our own. Change our attitude, change our mentality. Stop looking to the government for handout, because they ain't give you no handout. And if you hear it's a handout, that's not realistic. Okay? The government is here to facilitate growth. I'm not sure if I agree with the government even involved in the housing program per se. In terms of, I mean, the government has to look out for the poor and the indigent, that's their responsibility. But I'm talking about they need to create the opportunity for those who are called to do it. That is, the contractors. Create the system, let them do it. Right. And you oversee it. That's less work for you. Okay? We have an Able Contractors Association. Mobilize them, empower them. We have a powerful real estate community. Bahamas Real Estate Association with a team of realtors, licensed realtors, okay? I'm not talking about the people who are just taking the money online. Empower the people, empower the people. You have qualified people, white and black. Yes. We are not against foreigners. We welcome foreigners. That's how this country was built. And we welcome, but we also give equal opportunity to Bahamians. Why Bahamians sitting outside in all these other places, making them rich, and we here are not giving them the same opportunity? Empower Bahamians, give us all the opportunity. We can create generational wealth. Change the system, change the mindset. You're talking about crime? You're creating the crime because you're stopping Johnny from trying to go down the Penn Road and changing the atmosphere in there. Who could change Camp Road better than Johnny? Exactly. But you're stopping Johnny from getting the wealth, going in his own place. You're limiting him. You're putting him in a chokehold. Say, rent all your life. How you expect, what do you expect with crime? Let's give Bahamians the opportunity by creating the right environment and come together, create the best solutions for our country.
Go see Darren Seymour. He'll tell you how to get your house, how to get in it. Thank you, Darren, for joining us on this first segment tonight. We appreciate it. Stick around. When we come back, we got some other issues to tackle. Our roundtable. We're going to talk about the Golden House by-election. So it appears that both major parties, well, you know, let me stop because she can tell me they're a major party. It appears the red and the blue party say that they both only found 5,000 people in Golden Isles. Where is this 7,000 plus on the register? We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, in our last segment, we're going to talk about these unions. Are they real causes that they're bringing to the table, or are they taking advantage of the season? You watching the rundown. This is our last political roundtable before the end of the Christmas season, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
Let's go.
At Frame Studio, as soon as you enter the door, we showcase any individual that comes in there and make it feel like they are at home. The space itself is 1,800 square foot. Our side wall, which is industry standard also, is 24 feet wide. You can do anything that you can possibly think of. At Frame Studio, under our theme, Now Create More, we look at Frame Studio as a canvas. And any artist knows a canvas is blank, and then you create whatever you want to do, right? So we have where you could rent tools. We even have workstations that people could rent out to anyone inspiring to do what I've done, or what my colleagues have done, or any other journey. I would say to you, don't be afraid. The worst someone can actually tell you is no. So if you have a vision, you have an idea, not everyone will get it. But if you believe in your vision, you believe in your idea, I say go wholeheartedly at it.
For more information about the Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative and the Crafting the Bahamas workshops, email info@sbdcbahamas.com or call us at 461-7232.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales here at CBS Bahamas, where we help you to build beautiful. When it comes to outfitting your new home with beautiful architectural products, we represent prestigious brands such as PGT, Gelwin, Steelcraft, and Overhead Door. If you're looking for new windows or doors, custom made for your new house, be sure to email us at sales@cbsbahamas.com.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Bahamas, let's go! The 7th Caribbean Baseball Cup hits the Andrew Rogers Stadium December 3rd to the 8th. Watch Team Bahamas as they battle Curacao, the Dominican Republic, U.S. Virgin Island, and St. Martin. Games start at 3 p.m. and tickets are on sale now. Bring the noise, bring the pride to the Caribbean Baseball Cup. Be there.
Fashion was something that I've always loved. I always, as a child, loved to see women just impeccably dressed. But my thing was drawing the looks and mixing colors, and fashion was in my blood. My name is Dr. Jillian Curry Williams, and I'm the designer for Remilda Rose Designs. What sets me apart, that I pay attention to detail. Like, I have an eye for detail. I pay attention to the construction of my garment. I want to make sure that when my garment is completed, that you can wear that on the wrong side or the right side because it's impeccably made. I put my personality into my passion. Well, the fabric of hope was inspired by my father. My father had cancer, and I would go with him to treatments and seeing everybody just look despondent and dreary. And one day this lady dropped her mom off and her mother fell when she got inside, and I was like, wow, like God, like I'm only a fashion designer. Like, what can I do to assist these people? I know God had me to create it to inspire persons with cancer or any illness that there's hope, that there is light at the end of that tunnel. The encouraging word I would give to women, it's been in my heart for a couple of days, to speak to the older women who may feel that I'm 40, what can I do? I'm 50, what can I do? And that's when the fire in us kicks in. We've had the work experience, we pass all those tests, so take that idea that God has given you and put it to use. This is where it all begins.
To learn more about the Women Entrepreneurs Initiative, visit our website or contact us at 461-7232. And remember, empowered women empower women.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Welcome back. More than a week after the Golden Isles by-election, and the conversation continues to center on the voter registry and how accurate it is. In the upper chamber Monday, the Attorney General shared startling numbers that bring sharper focus to the urgency of updating the register. LaDon Davis has more.
His voice to the conversation yesterday was Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, as he opened debate on the Data Protection Bill, proposed legislation that ensures that the necessary protections are in place for the collection of biometric data, which includes voter registration data.
Both the PLP, Madam President, and the FNM, in our canvassing of the constituency, and trust me, when the parties rolled out, they had the best canvassers that they have on both sides. Canvassing the constituency, meeting the registered voters or the resident voters, verifying the information, speaking to them. Both parties did it extensively. Maybe one better than the other, but needless to say, the opposition had their forces out as well. However, neither party in the recent by-election, they said somewhere upwards, I think, of 7,900 voters were on the register, right? Okay. Neither party, neither the PLP nor the FNM, with all of our extensive canvassers, every single day in the constituency, neither party found more than approximately 5,500 voters on the register.
A far cry from the 7,926 voters that were said to be registered to cast a vote in the Golden Isles constituency. It also throws into question the actual voter turnout last Monday, pegged at 49%, with 3,884 people actually casting a ballot.
So why was this the case, that there were some 2,500 voters on the register that couldn't be found by either party? Why was that the case? Well, this is because over the last 9 years, since the permanent register was put in place, remember, the former administration put in a permanent register, meaning you don't have to go and register every election. You're permanently on the register, right? There was no active voter transfer initiatives really underway in 9 years. Now, why is that? Well, we had COVID, for example. Nobody is transferring on the voter registration during the 2 years of COVID, right? Just naturally. You're home, you're under curfew, you're under this, you're under that. You're just not focused on transferring your voter registration to any new place.
Senator Pinder's comments, though, follow a recent assurance from Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson that the register has been updated, stressing that the process to clean it up started soon after the 2021 general election. Any suggestion otherwise, he said, is ridiculous. The Attorney General also blamed it on the former administration's snap election in 2021. The voter scrutineering exercise then were never done.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDon Davis.
Thanks a lot, Don. Okay, back to our political roundtable. So you see the issue that we're presented here. If parties are saying, we only find about 5,500, and the register is saying the 7,900 on there, you think people hiding? Or is it that many of these people have either moved out and didn't bother, like he said, didn't bother to transfer, because people ain't going to transfer unless they have to use it. So why am I going to go and transfer my voter to where I live now if I'm voting now? Why do I need to go put myself in Bain Down if I move to Bain Down until election time? Because I'm voting in Bain Down. So I'm not going to do it because I want to make sure they have a clean register for Golden Isles. I'm going to go and take me off the list. People just didn't care.
Right. I agree with you, because from 2011 to now, they did not clean up the register. When I do my walkabouts, I come to about 10 to 20% of the persons who are not on the register that I'm looking at.
But they live there.
And I ask them, well, when did you move? And they say, oh, I moved here 2 years ago. And so I say, are you going to transfer? They say, yeah. But so a lot of this is happening. So we have to go by and look at their house number and write it down and make a note of it. Another thing that we need to clean it up, you remember we keep saying Electoral Commission reform. Instead of the political parties making all these changes, let the Electoral Commission make these changes. And it'll also make it easier for boundary changes. Right now, the boundary changes are too political. I call it gerrymandering. So we need to go to an Electoral Commission, let them do everything for us, let them decide to, have the people come in and transfer their registration and everything. Let them do it instead of the political parties doing it. And I think we'll have a better even keel, and it will go faster and more efficient.
What does it say if it is correct that there are maybe only about 6,000 voters in Golden Isles? Then that means voter turnout would have been pretty high.
Yeah. For that amount, yes. I just want to say, just listening to our Attorney General give his theory as to what happened, I just want to put another theory out there. Seeing that we can't find 2,500 people, where did you look? Did you look in some of those villages in the corner of Golden Isles that had so many hundreds of persons? Understanding that Mr. Pistock actually won only 5 out of 14 polling divisions, but that was enough to win. That means the strategy could be you only need to know certain polling divisions to actually win. It's only certain polling divisions you need to win. I just want to stress, how could you...
Well, no, that's how it is for elections. You see, you can have the popular vote and still lose the election.
Understood. I'll rest right there. I'll rest.
I know you're talking about certain pockets.
There's certain pockets.
I skirt around that.
About certain pockets.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of hard for the BCP to grasp that elections is a numbers game, as they've never want to see. So I can understand why you say that, but the reality is this. Since we had the permanent registration put in place, ain't nobody bothering to go transfer. No voter registry. That's just the reality of it.
But whose responsibility is it, though, God?
But see, that's why the mechanism was in place that every election you register where you live.
Right, to make sure it was accurate and clean.
So when we go into that election, there's no doubt that this is the amount of people alive and well to vote. But when you have a voter registry that's not been cleaned up for close to 10 years, people moved out, people moved in, people died, a lot of stuff took place. It was never cleaned up. And so now, when the political parties went on the road and they go house to house, you say, where did they look? The canvassers actually went door to door and collect the information, so that's where they looked. And they did their count. You say, now, hold on now, we can't find over 2,000 people on the register. This is the problem. This is a problem because voter fraud. If you don't live in an area and you've been moved out more than 3 months, you shouldn't vote. So you see the issue that we could have. I believe for a fair election, registration should be in place every 5 years to ensure that voter fraud is kept a minimum. So that's just my summary of it.
Well, just to piggyback off Carl's last point, even in terms of the register, I could agree that, okay, if every 5 years, because we did put it in place, but if this government saw it as an issue, right? I mean, I saw
or priority.
Or priority, because they like the backfire of what this government used to do, you in the chair, my brother. We put you here, you promised us a new day, fix what needs to be fixed. Stop passing the can down the road, you in the chair now, we looking for people. And for the life of me, I don't understand. The parliamentary commissioner, he was appointed by this government. He was a retired civil servant. They bring him back. And according to him, he in the chair, as far as I'm concerned, he's the CEO of the Parliamentary Registration Division. He stood in the chair and he said, the register is clean up. As far as he's concerned, him and his workers are doing their job. So we have the AG saying one thing, and I know the PM overspoke him the other day with the issue as well with the returning officer, and he was saying something else. The parliamentary commissioner was saying, I waiting on legal advice. The PM saying, I ain't seeing nothing going on. Now the AG saying, we can't find 2,500 people. Agreed, both parties were looking, but he's saying we clean up the register. My thing about it is, especially when it comes to political appointment, that's why these people need to do their job. You are there to do a job. He is saying the job is done. Clearly, it's not done. And so the government is now in the chair. Do what needs to be done. If you see the issue is it's in 10 years, then make sure, fix it so that we would not have this conversation.
Shouldn't people be able to transfer? I'm thinking that's a process that should be able to do online. If we're modernizing the process, you can upload your documentation, upload your information, and they should be able to take care of a transfer. If you got to tell people for everything you got to do, you got to go into an office, stand on a line, do that. People can't find the time to do it.
That is why
and people can say, man, if I got to do that, I just ain't gonna vote.
And that's why Clinton we need to go towards now digitizing everything. For far too long, these things are click of the button, license plate, passport, all these stuff could upload and click. You like.
I remember now there were some people who opposed the biometrics, the digitalization of biometrics of the whole process. People were opposing that.
Now, just to be clear, the FNM was not opposing the biometric cards. The issue we had was the rolling out of it, how it was happening, and the timing of it. That was the timing. That was it. It was too close to the election, but not that. And we support digitization. If you look, the passport, don't forget, it was us who brought business license 24 hours. Click, upload your license, same thing. Click. So we were moving down that path. Now the PLP, they bring in somebody else, and then I don't know what happened to the system. Again, everything changed what was working.
Before we move into
at the end of the day, we need to modernize the service.
The digital card either. The problem was the trustworthiness of it. So in other words, when the information was transferred from the passport to the registrar, that was the problem. The root of the information might have been inaccurate. That is what we were concerned
about. Let me put on the table
the information.
Let me put this on the table also.
That's right. The root of the information, how the passport was attained and the information on the passport, that is where the problem was.
So this
well, let me just say that
you know that and I know that. That is the problem.
Let me just say that on another note, right? It has been, I could say, alleged by Minister Wayne Monroe, is saying that even though the FNM and the minister move forward with some programs concerned with the digitization and also biometrics, they did not put the legislation and regulatory framework in place.
That was the issue.
Ahead of time.
That was
that was the issue. So that's issue one. Not being prepared to protect. There's no the data protection. Look at when we are debating it now. Look at when it was put out there years ago, 4 years ago. That's putting the cart before the horse. So that's irresponsible in how the information is being
Speaking about data
handled.
protection,
Yes.
like I said, the initial data that was entered in for the passport is where some of the problem lies.
But just for clarity, data protection is different from online government services.
Right. No, that's correct. It's two different things.
No.
That's two different things.
I just wanted to bring a different point now.
Two different things.
No, I think his point is around the biometric voter card. What he is saying, which is accurate. The former administration passed the law, right? You talk about, you know, the PLP cleaning up mess. I mean, let me share some mess. I got the problem that that's fine. You guys passed the law, began to roll it out with no framework in place to protect Bahamian data.
That's the problem.
Secondly, the issue was because there was no protection in place. What if a hack had occurred? Someone infiltrated the parliamentary registrar system. They would have had access to all of the Bahamians and all of the Bahamian people information. And so I mean, they say something you could defend. It's just a reality.
No, you know the
the present administration did
does not stop it from happening.
What the present administration did was we didn't want to be irresponsible like you all. You talk about digitization, but you don't want to talk about the protection of data. So we presented the framework to protect data and to roll out the biometric voter card in a way where it was integral and it cannot be compromised, and the information thereof cannot be compromised.
And just for clarity, so like you said, the framework wasn't in place. We started to pass a law. Policies, and you know our agenda shifted, and I don't want to say why. Our agenda shifted in terms of
you all passed the statute law.
And,
okay, hold on. Let's come out of the weeds, right? Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
I want to get into. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I want to get
a moment.
We have about 7 minutes left. I want to get into
15 seconds, Clint.
You got 10.
Okay, 10 seconds.
9.
On behalf of the BPSA, they had to put out a notice over the weekend.
7.
Do not allow persons to take your biometric information. My point is, the government is forcing it on people. And that's a problem.
That's inaccurate.
Okay.
No. Dr. Ayla.
Medical professionals are being no, Kyle. No. We have to follow the host.
If you don't
know, we have to follow the host.
You don't want to be corrected.
No, that's not the point. The BPSU took a position.
Well, don't get the voters card.
Do not allow. We have to concede.
I want you to follow me.
Okay. Yes.
Here we go. And I want to get in this because we have about 5 minutes left. The unions. Obviously, we see now the teachers union coming back up again, President saying what it is that she's saying. The question is, because people are still trying to figure out what is the issue with the teachers union, and no one seems to be articulating what is it that they are agitating for. Because she's saying, and again, Belinda Wilson is saying that it was a letter that she had sent to the OPM and she was waiting on a response for. So her concern is surrounding this letter and what she feels concerns are. The PPSU, Public Service, had a different concern. So it seems as though people were just using the opportunity to lobby for their concerns. And the question here tonight is, are these legitimate concerns that warrant urgent action, or is it just an opportunity, let me get mine in while the temperature is what it is?
Let me tell you what I feel. I feel as if the government didn't handle that correctly. The first mistake they made was they looked after the middle managers and the people above middle managers. When you look at a pyramid, you should really concentrate on the people at the bottom. The cost of living is very high, and more than likely those people have a harder time of finding, to meet the cost of living. So why would you start with your middle managers and up? And you did it a year before. Remember, it was supposed to be last September.
Correct.
The government didn't finish their number review until June, so they had 10 months of back pay. Whereas the lower tier staff, they paid them they were supposed to pay them in September, which is a year later, and they paid them in November, so they had 2 months. Some of them got $150, some of them got $341, and I heard that some of them got nothing. So Belinda is actually saying, no, the Prime Minister said he gave it out of the goodness of his heart. Now hold on, if you gave it out of your pocket, that you could say that. But if it's the taxpayers' money, how could you say you give it out of the goodness of your heart? That comes from us, the taxpayers. So I don't understand why he didn't sit with Belinda those, because Belinda's argument was that in the industrial agreement, I don't remember the section that she quoted. She said that any time the government is giving money to the union, they are supposed to consult with them first. There is a clause in there that is mandatory that they consult with them. It's almost like collective bargaining, even if he wanted to do it from the Treasury. So I think he fell down on that. So I said the debacle was how they structured it. It was wrong, and I think it's going to come back to bite them next year. When it's election time.
I just want to agree with Dr. McIver's point too, to debunk any misinformation, because I realize because Ms. Wilson is fighting this government, PLP psychologist say the FNM must tell us, or she appears to be running for the FNM or whatever. God said let the FNM, you said let the FNM tell us, like she associated with us. So let me just make it clear. The president of the BPSU, she's not in no way affiliated with the FNM. She's standing up for the rights of her members. Like Dr. McIver mentioned, as a union, I said as a union executive, one of the things we don't like and what we see, in my view, is this is union busting. Where anytime you're negotiating, especially pay, you should consult the unions regardless of if it is something ultra-vires to the union agreement, you still should contact the union and the executive, because they represent the members. The union are like the lawyer for the members, and there's like, even when you have corporations, they call it, again, union busting. If a direct executive tries to talk to a member without consulting the union, you basically breaching the industrial agreement. And so in this case, again, this ain't your money. You're not doing the people any favors. And the reality of the matter is, one of the key issues we're missing out too is, the Prime Minister is saying he's doing some of the goodness of his heart, but he also, everybody failing to forget that the teachers were not involved. That was another issue that Belinda was fighting for, that the teachers were left out of this salary review. So it's as if you're doing this for the full public service, why are the teachers not included? And the biggest issue is, you give the top dogs. And to me, I feel like the small man carries all government entities, if you ask me, in my view. But how is it that these same retired permanent secretaries, and yes, I say that you bring them back because they're the middle managers, they're getting double for their pay. Some of them then retired and collecting pension, and they're getting full salary now, and now you bringing them back, and they're in the first set of cycle to get pay raise. It's an insult to the Bahamian people and the small man, because now they're getting what everybody say, crumbs. They get 2 months back pay. Why not give them the same year back pay that the top dogs get? So stop playing in the face of the Bahamian people.
I want to clarify that, because ZNS News obtained a copy of that letter that was returned back to Linda Wilson.
Okay.
And it was outlined to her regarding the list of teachers, aides, counselors, librarians, and others within your bargaining unit. I can confirm that all permanent and pensionable members of the BUT bargaining unit will receive 2 increments. This applies to everyone covered under that unit and ensures consistency across the board. I also note your query regarding payments being retroactive to September 2024. This was not agreed. The BUT concluded its negotiated increases through the industrial agreement up to June 2025. The situation with middle managers and technical officers was handled separately because that group does not have a union representing them, and their salary adjustments were based on the need to retain those positions. So in other words, what's happening here is BUT was already in their own negotiation, their contract negotiations, which is separate from the BPSU, the public service, their own thing. They already have an agreement on what they were doing with their salary structures. So what he's saying is that your agreement was already done. It's already set in stone. This is for those who don't have a bargaining unit, and we're trying to align their salaries. So I think that brought clarification, because here's why we were dealing with them and you weren't included in that, because it's already agreed that you're getting 2 double increments, yet your negotiations were already concluded, that you concluded and signed off and agreed on. So what we're doing now is dealing with those who aren't unionized, who doesn't have a union, who represent a different bargaining unit. And if you didn't have this information, you would understand the context of the argument, and you would think there was a body that's being disenfranchised, when it's not. It's a matter of, and I keep saying this over and repeatedly, communications is key. Because we have to
If
clarify things along the way so people know.
If it is a separation of powers, then Clint, if it is a separation of powers, then why is it then that the non-unionized people were able to go before to negotiate an agreed contract of the teachers then?
So a good point about that is, and I think that's a very good question. A lot of people are saying, so why do them first and do us
If
last?
was already agreed.
And the answer to that is simply what was said, that union contracts have a period, a bargaining period, when they expire. So if yours isn't expired yet and you go to the table afterwards, you have a period to negotiate. If these people don't have a contract and you're addressing their, it's like you could do it with all kinds of unions at the same time. So it's a matter of timing. But what I think has hurt the government in this whole process is lack of communicating clearly what is going on, what is transpiring. Like I said before, I think I said it last week, if from the first set of protests, that somebody got up and said, okay, let's clarify what this amount is. This amount is just the difference of what we are doing to regularize your salaries or do the adjustments from the salary review. That means the average person can expect to receive $150. If they had said that in day one, no one would be sitting there waiting for Christmas to come, I getting some extra money. If I don't know what it is you're giving me.
Exactly.
The communication is clear. If you told me from then, I don't think 150, I can be like, whenever you all send it. You know, kind of way.
I agree with you, but me personally, I can't trust nothing that this government says.
I'm glad you read the statement because it shows that you just stole a bunch of missions.
Nothing but lie.
Let me share this with you.
Nothing I said is a lie. Despite that statement, nothing I said, my brother.
Let me share this with you.
No, one thing I don't do, I talk facts.
You have such a big facts. You're just big for the union. I was a big talker for the union. But let me ask a question. Where was your voice when the FNM administration took away public servants' increment?
When?
Where was your voice?
When? When did it happen? When did it happen? Because I know we gave $1,400 to public service, and they say they don't lie. We don't give small money. We don't give crumbs. Check the facts.
Look into the camera.
That's what the people say.
Look into the camera.
No, I want you to tell me when it happened.
Look into the camera and tell them people, tell public servants, your government didn't stop their increments.
Tell me when it
And
happened.
it was the PLP administration to restore increments.
Secondly, our government did not stop any increments. As a matter of fact, our government laid off no workers doing the worst period in the history of this country. During COVID and Dorian, no government worker lost their job.
I am not finished yet. I am not finished yet.
So we're going to wrap up quickly.
Let me just make two more points.
That's what I know.
It was your administration that stopped the promotions of public servants. It was your administration that stopped the confirmations of public servants. It was your administration that stopped the increments of public servants. Okay?
The world being affected lost their jobs.
The reality is you cannot come on this camera. You cannot come on this camera acting like you have such the best interest of public servants at heart when you never spoke out. You never spoke out when you stopped the increments. You never spoke up when you stopped the confirmation. And you never spoke up when you stopped the
to the Bahamian people, while the blue and red is arguing, we're about to lose our country. Tomorrow morning, be downtown in the House of Assembly. They are getting ready to debate the smuggling of migrants bill. I am concerned that is it's planned for tomorrow morning.
No, I have the agenda for the House. On the agenda for the House tomorrow.
Maybe they moved it. Okay, so guess what?
It was on the agenda for the House tomorrow.
Oh my God. Hold on. Iram Lewis
on the agenda for the House tomorrow. On the agenda for the House tomorrow is the resolution for the new hospital. The new hospital. That's what's on the agenda tomorrow.
Clint, they might have changed it. Iram Lewis got a copy of it, and this bill. Let me tell the Bahamian people, the smuggling of migrants bill was tabled October 15th. It's supposed to be debated tomorrow morning. And the Bahamian people need to know this government, the same way they repealed the Sovereign Wealth Fund during a Christmas season when most people eating their turkey and ham and you're not wondering about it, December 22, they repealed the Sovereign Wealth Fund. The same thing they're getting ready, this smuggling migrants bill is similar to the asylum bill that was protested several years ago. They pulled it back because the protesters were out there. Now they're trying to slip in the asylum bill, and they're calling it the smuggling of migrants bill. Iram Lewis got a copy of the bill, and they told him that it was supposed to be debated tomorrow morning. But we will be out to Rawson Square in the morning as a press conference, just to make the Bahamian people aware of what is going down. And if you read this migrants bill, you will not believe we will not have a country in 5 years if this bill goes on, because it will not be illegal to bring in, to smuggle in a migrant. It will not be illegal. That is what that bill is saying.
I know this government bad, but they can't be that bad.
They can't be that bad, right?
I know we say we have an immigration crisis. I know we say we do, but I don't think
It's
they
in the
that
bill.
bad. They ain't that bad. They ain't that bad. They ain't that bold. They ain't that bad.
I've not seen it on the agenda. I've not seen it on the agenda. I've not seen it on the agenda. And I don't think the opposition will see it on the agenda and say anything about it either.
Okay, did you listen to Steve?
We would riot.
I'm going to mention Steve McKinney. Hold on.
Talk to my guy about coming to your downtown.
Steve,
okay. You fight for our country.
Lincoln was on Steve McKinney.
On who?
What happened? Listen, he have a concern for this country. You don't think Steve McKinney have a concern for this country?
This is the rundown. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, the rundown roundtable will be on Christmas break and will return in the new year. The rundown will be on Christmas break in the new year. I'll give you all 5 seconds each. Anybody you want to say Merry Christmas?
All the time. It'll have to be me.
What he has to say.
No, press conference. I want to tell you, happy holidays for all Bahamians and the public service. Okay. 9. The public service, they took a vote, 7. So we're making it personal with 6. Belinda Wilson. They took a vote.
How many people voted?
92%. That's what the
92%.
92% of BPSU voted.
Yours
wasn't a small amount.
92% voted in favor.
In favor.
She said 92% of the members voted.
92% voted in favor.
The question was asked by media to her. How many people voted? She refused to say.
Please answer that question.
She refused to say how many people. She was asked by the media how many people voted. She refused to say.
That's
she refused to say.
But thank you very much.
Because 5 of us could vote right now.
Understood.
And 4 out of 5 of us vote in favor of something, and we say media in the Bahamas.
She made
92% of media in the Bahamas.
Trust me, the teachers should have answered that question. They just tell me Brave should keep that and all. I said the PM should keep that.
Give it back.
They said I didn't even want
that. On solidarity, give it back.
I agree.
On solidarity, give it back.
I wouldn't take it. I would tell them.
Y'all got 5 seconds to say Merry Christmas to somebody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, you will say Merry Christmas too. I let you know. Go ahead.
Merry Christmas to all Bahamians. I love you all. I look forward to working with everybody next year on my panel, and I look forward to us moving into the new Bahamas next year.
Well, change to Merry Christmas to Kalani. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Kalani!
Merry Christmas, Bahamas, and Merry Christmas to all my family, my friends, especially my PLP family.
Go ahead.
Well, look out for the Bahamas Constitution Party. But we thank you for our small space, but a very important space here. And we look forward to working with everybody for a better Bahamas. Merry Christmas.
Happy holiday, Bahamas, to my family and all my tuning in, my audience. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy the holidays.
Tuning in.
Happy holidays.
Y'all have a great Christmas holiday. It's been a pleasure talking national issues with you guys.
Thank you.
Let's have a good holiday together. And that's it for the rundown. Be sure to stay locked to the ZNS network for the Bahamas Night 11. It's a final newscast in the evening with the latest in news and information with Corville Pyfram, dressed up over there in his maroon or orange or red or something. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.
At Fort Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.
Is